I have a second announcement.
Okay.
I'm opting out of all Elon Musk content in 2025.
Okay.
He is
Good luck.
As far as I am concerned, he's gone. He has nothing to do with me. I'm sick of hearing about him.
Okay.
I can't take it anymore. Him and Jason Kelsey are being shoved down my throat in ways that I've never seen before. Everywhere you turn, it's Elon Musk or Jason Kelsey. Those are your only two options anymore.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It is Thursday. It's January 16th. And today we're brought to you by Game Time. We love getting out to live events, whether it's a concert, a football game, a comedy show, you name it. We always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. They got me into the Winter Classic, which was quite a scene there. Had essentially a free Smashing Pumpkins concert and a Chance the Rapper concert, all in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. And we got to watch a hockey game too. You know how much we love Game Time. And we got a lot of important football games coming up this weekend. We got divisional round, divisional playoffs, and we have the national championship game coming to you next Monday. I'm pumped about all this. And Big T, you are going to a college basketball game because it's college basketball season too.
Yep, going to Tennessee Vandy on Saturday. Game time right now, $56. You can go see top 10 Tennessee in Nashville.
Top Tennessee.
Yeah.
I love it. They're a good team this year.
Really good.
Get out to a college basketball game this year. Go to a football game. I would love to go to the Lions-Commanders game on Saturday. I'm going to be on the stream watching here live, but I would love to go. If you're looking to go to a game, check out Game Time. They have a brand new Game Time Picks feature. They're making it easier than ever to get to a game. They filter out all the fluff with Game Time Picks, and it only shows you the incredible deals on the best seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. And if you're looking to get out to that Tennessee Vanderbilt game, check it out on Game Time. Great deals. Pull up your chosen event, turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or you can browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? Go get those football tickets right now. Go get those college basketball tickets right now with Game Time Picks. Check it out. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code MACRO, get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code MACRO for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Who? Love that. That was a good who.
Yeah.
So we're back. It's Macrodosing, Thursday, January 16th. And you got to get those takes off on TikTok. This is the last weekend to do it because it's going away.
You can go to Red Note, though.
You can go to Red Note. Always go to Red Note. So
I downloaded Red Note.
Did you?
Yeah.
So now the Chinese government has all your information again?
Yep. They know which porn sites I visit.
Are you making friends with people in China?
I literally downloaded it today. So
I've been seeing a lot of friendships being formed overseas.
I can't wait to give me a little pen pal, you know?
They should each subsequent app should just be more Chinese than the last.
This one seems like it's getting close to maximum Chinese.
So are there no American companies that can develop a front-facing video app?
I would have thought everybody would pivot to Instagram Reels, but it seems like everybody's really bought in on the whole Chinese of it all.
The Chinese do it better.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So Red Note is like a copy of TikTok?
So my understanding is ByteDance, the TikTok parent company, is like beholden to China.
Yeah.
This company is owned by China. Like, this is actually the Chinese government.
It's more Chinese.
It's, yes, way more Chinese. And they actually, in their terms of service, is like, we seek to promote the values of communism. Like, and they take stuff off, like sorts.
They should call it Bolshevik Talk.
Nice.
I think that'd be a good name for it. So have Mad Dog McKinsey, have you guys experimented with, what's it called, Red Scare?
Red Note.
Okay. Red Note, have you checked it out?
I have not downloaded it yet, but I kind of want to. I did see a bunch of things, like people were just like commenting nice things.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, this is how it should be. I was like, wait, I kind of want to get on that app.
It's so funny that the more Chinese it is, the more people are like, I Yeah, I'm gonna download it.
Should we make an account and just post about Tiananmen Square? And
Apparently, you can't search
Yeah, you
for
can't
it.
search Tiananmen Square. I
right,
saw.
so we should just see how long it takes us to get banned.
Let's just
Oh.
lean into propaganda. And I have no quarrel with the Chinese people. I think the Chinese people are good folk,
Yeah.
good, honest folk. Not in a great government right now. Pretty oppressed over there. They do some really bad shit in the CCP. But I have no problem with Chinese people. Just maybe don't give all your information to the government of China, who is soon to be, if not already, involved in like an active trade war, if not a proxy war against us.
Small correction. There's no mention of communism in the Red Note TOS. Just
I'll find it for you.
I mean, I can't read Chinese, but I got it translated, and I did a little digging before I downloaded it.
I'll
There's no
find it
mention.
for you.
What would have been a deal breaker, Arian?
I'm not. I've been already. People flame me all the time, fans of this podcast, because I'm not. I don't really fear the boogeyman like that. I've stated this before. I don't really fear the digital warfare that's going on. It's just not something that I fear. I think that the data that people collect is economic in its nature, and there's not really a deal breaker for me. Like I'm gonna check out what I think your data's gone. Like every company, every global company, Google, Apple, Microsoft, you have no like it is what it is. You sold that shit off a long time ago. So
I think somebody like you, somebody like me, somebody like most people that you know, there's not like a direct harm that would come from that. But there's a lot of people out there that might live in the same house as somebody who works for a defense contractor or who works for a company that is in the supply chain for a defense contractor. And I don't know how the technology works. Maybe they can, if you share Wi-Fi with somebody on a regular basis and their shit's on your phone, maybe they can get access to the other person's phone, and then they start digging around. I think there's probably some harm to it, but for most people, I think that harm is minimal.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm open though, right? I'm not like closed-minded. If somebody could provide me links to like actual like real, I don't know, evidence-based like data breach that can cause harm to American people, I'm open. But like right now, I see a lot of like like election interference as far as like people being influenced. Like yeah, but people are influenced by stupid shit all the time. People are influenced by Elon Musk. People are influenced by fucking Steven Crowder. You know what I'm saying? People are influenced by dumb shit all the time. So it to me, that's more on the onus of the user. But
what about getting like your financial information?
If like I said, if people are cracking into your bank accounts, yeah, that would be a problem. But is that happening?
I don't know. Passwords get breached all the time.
That's true, but that shit happens all over. If you have a PC, you know that shit happens all the time. Apple's pretty good at protecting that, but like I stream on this PC. I have all kinds of shit in protection of that because it's an open system. Microsoft and Word and all this, like these kind of computers, and I'm not a tech genius, but these kind of computers, there's much less protective measures that rather than Apple. Apple does a good job of like protecting its ecosystem. But but the trade-off is like you can't download anything outside of the ecosystem of Apple. You have to go to Apple Store to download an app, and they take like a certain amount of percentage, whereas in Google it's like it's open.
Yeah. They break into Big T's phone and they see like this guy is heavily involved and very knowledgeable about the inner workings of the SEC. They're thinking it's like financial shit,
not the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Yeah, he's always on the he's deep in the message boards. This guy's got all they break into my shit and they're like, this guy knows 53 Washington commanders. We'll try to figure. Now, if this ends up with like Jaden getting drone strike because they think that he's like a military general, then I'm gonna put my hand up and say, sorry, I fucked up. But yeah, I think for most people, I'm a little concerned about like getting passwords and shit like that. So I'm probably not going to download the Red Wave or whatever it is.
Real quick, it doesn't say communism, it says socialism.
Okay.
A translation of Red Note's community standards shows it wants users to promote, quote, patriotism, collectivism, and socialism.
Okay.
which is not communism.
Yeah, so we're already socialist. There's socialist shit that's in place in the United States.
That is
A
true.
lot of it, yeah. So it's just most countries have some degree of socialism. So Mackenzie, you are going to download. Knowing all this, you're getting in. They should make a wait list for it. Make it more exclusive.
Maybe.
That shit would. It's already number one. I think it's number one in the App Store.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it exclusive. Be like, sorry, you gotta wait. You gotta wait 4 days. That would make you want to sign up more, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Probably not, because I don't want to wait.
No.
Yeah.
I just want it automatically. But no, I have not downloaded it yet. But I kind of want to because it seems fun. What do I have to lose?
Yeah, I guess. What about you, Mad Dog? You gonna download it?
I don't know. I mean, I said this about TikTok when it first came out. Like, I'm never downloading this, and then like I'm actually clinically addicted to it right now at this point. So I say no right now, just because I feel like it's gonna get banned just as quickly as TikTok. I can't grow attachments to these apps anymore because then they get taken away.
You've been hurt before.
I've been burned before. I cannot be burned again. I'm also trying to like soak up. It's like when you have to put a dog down, and so you're doing all your favorite things with them for the last couple times. Like I'm scrolling. I am scrolling with no guilt or no shame. I am liking. I am taking in TikTok at a rate that just soak it all in before it goes.
Do you want me to give you some good news?
What?
It's not going anywhere.
Fire off all those DMs you've been thinking about.
I will bet.
Yep.
It's going away.
I would bet a significant sum of money that it does. Now, it might go away on Sunday.
Yeah.
But if I was betting that it stays dark for 30 days, I would bet a significant sum of money. That doesn't happen.
I agree.
I would hope. I just love TikTok, but I've also knowing again whether or not it goes away forever and red note whatever. Because of this ban / my brain turning into scrambled eggs because of it, I have tried to stop scrolling as much at night, just to be like, try to like remember how to read a book or something, and it's like not nearly as fun as TikTok. Like it is not.
There's no
as
pictures.
Fun. There's no
Right.
pictures.
No videos.
And
sound.
No. Do you and it's like people have been making jokes on Twitter like my Chinese spy knows me so well, like they know my algorithm. Like we are like thick as thieves, them and I. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do without it.
Yeah.
So maybe I will download Red Note.
You think it's going to come back, Big T?
Yeah, I'm virtually certain.
Why's that?
It's just my understanding is Trump kind of wants to bring it back.
They probably told him that
Makes
there's a lot of
sense.
people on there that like you.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think Kevin O'Leary said he told him that. Trump said, why should I care? And he said, well, there's millions of Americans who have, businesses tied in with TikTok. And he said, and you got a significant sum of support from young people due in no small part to TikTok.
We're talking about Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful.
Correct.
That
Because
guy-
he's trying to buy
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna
That
say.
guy's kind of full of shit.
Yeah, he's the
Oh, yeah,
worst.
that's-
It's also valued at like $50 billion.
I think he said he has a bid in for 20, but that doesn't include the algorithm. He said they're not trying to buy the algorithm.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Right, but they won't sell it with the algorithm. So he said, I'll still buy it without the algorithm. He just wants to keep it alive.
That's a terrible business idea. He just wants the name.
Well, he wants to keep it in business.
Yeah, but without the algorithm, everyone's going to hate it.
No, it will exist in its current form. He just will not have access to the algorithm because they are not allowed to sell it to an American by China's
Okay,
rules.
so the algorithm will still be run.
It will
by
run
China.
the same.
I got a question. I don't know about this tech side of things. The algorithm is a code written into the app that what?
It identifies what you like, what you don't like, and it shows you more of things that it thinks that you will like.
And I'm guessing this is hard to program.
Yeah. It takes like years of data and figuring out various users' profiles, what they spend like more than a couple seconds watching, what they swipe on, where they're located, their demographic information. It takes all that and bundles it into one, not really one, but it bundles it into a code that is very good at getting you addicted to using the app.
TikTok's algorithm also, we surmise, is much more invasive than others. How if you'll say something around your phone about TikTok and it'll show up.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Okay.
It's a very strong, powerful algorithm. We can all agree on that. They've done a very good job of coding it. Yeah, Mr. Wonderful. I don't know about that business move, buddy.
Did you see Elon also?
Mr. Beast is on Red Note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Do you think
he seems like a Red Note guy?
Do you think Bill Belichick has been informed of the switch between TikTok?
Yeah. What's his girlfriend's name?
Yeah, Jordan.
Jordan's definitely letting him know.
Yeah.
As a college
How
football
old is
coach, you
Jordan?
have to know these things.
What?
She's 24.
She's 24.
Come on, Bill.
Yeah.
See, that's a red flag in my eyes.
Yeah.
You think?
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
If you know,
Red flag. Huh?
you're always talking about older women. If you're in your 70s,
True.
What are you going to be into?
My peers.
Yeah.
That's when he hits his
Then,
stride.
then you'll plateau.
I plateau, and now I'm just dating in my age. They caught up to me. It is what it is.
What's that Matthew McConaughey thing where it's like the women get older, but I get older, but the women stay the same age?
It's from Dazed and Confused.
That's like you, but with
That's what I
older
like
women.
about high school chicks. I get older, they stay the same age.
Isn't that Taylor Swift? Isn't that in All Too Well too?
Crazy.
Not that exact line. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'll
Is that
get
the
older.
touch me while your friends play Grand Theft Auto?
No.
No.
I'll get older, but your lovers will
Yeah.
stay my age.
About Jake Gyllenhaal.
But that's about Travis Kelce.
That's my favorite Taylor Swift lyric, and there's not a close second. It's so funny that she wrote that and put it in a song.
Like a lyrical genius, and then she
Yeah.
just whips that out. Like
It implies that they're doing hand stuff in front of his friends.
Yeah.
In front of Patrick.
Yeah.
And-
Well, they're online, right? If you're playing a video game.
Yeah, like Patrick Mahomes is balls deep in Vice City,
Yeah.
and Travis is just reaching over under the cover.
But she's not saying while you play Grand Theft Auto, because then I would assume, okay, you're playing with your friends online. But she said it in my head when she says touch me while your boys play Grand Theft Auto.
We're all in the same room.
People are at their house.
Yeah.
They're all playing Grand Theft Auto together. He hands the controller to Noah Gray and then reaches his hand over to Taylor's thigh.
Yeah, Harrison Bucker's like, give me the sticks.
Yeah.
You got 3 stars.
Chris Jones is ripping the controller out of your hand.
Yeah, because you couldn't be on the controller and touch her at the same. That'd be a bad girlfriend request. It's
You'd
like,
have to be
I'm
a
not,
hell of a
Yeah, let
player.
him focus.
I'm not going to be as good at the game.
Right.
If I'm trying to find your G spot.
Babe, I need both hands for this.
Yeah.
It's GTA 6. I need both hands.
But yeah, I think Bill Belichick has to be informed about this information because he's going to have to be making TikTok videos with his recruits.
Yep.
He's got to know what his kids want. So now there's somebody that's in Bill Belichick's office right now explaining what Red Note is and how it's controlled by the Chinese government, but all his players are going to be on it.
I actually think Bill Belichick has known a lot about social media for a long time because he had that press conference where he was intentionally misnaming all of the apps.
Snapface.
And he was
Yeah.
going like out of his way to make sure he said the wrong name
Yeah.
on purpose.
I'll tell you what, there's a big opening in the marketplace right now for MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it back. What's Tom doing?
In what way?
I mean, MySpace has been a sleeping giant. Why doesn't MySpace just rebrand as the new TikTok?
There will be another app that comes along. I thought it'd be Instagram Reels would finally have its day, but
Yeah.
it seems like they're being cucked by Red Note.
Also, shout out to MySpace Tom. MySpace Tom was a genius.
Is he alive?
He's living his best life. Maybe
He's
the
maybe
best
more
life.
alive than all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MySpace Tom, I'm trying to remember. I think he sold MySpace for like $600 million, and then he just fucked off.
Yeah.
He was like,
traveled the world and did photography.
yeah, he's like, I got 600 million. You're not gonna see me again.
He sold it for 580. I'm seeing a net worth of 60.
Okay, still
That's not. I mean, that's doing great. But
good work. He didn't think that he was going to try to like change the world, and end up accidentally like fucking with Americans' brains and entering us into weird dynamics where we hate everybody all the time.
Probably nobody knows what he looks like now.
Yeah, he was the generic white man.
Is that picture, like his profile picture, was that actually him?
That was Tom.
Because I've seen that picture a bunch, but that was 25 years ago.
That was Tom. I think Tom from MySpace might be the most regular millionaire in the world. Multi-millionaire. Like, he's the most regular rich person, and I envy what Tom did. I think that everybody that gets to that point in life, that's what they should. That's the most healthy thing to do, is to just be. You won, Tom. You won, and he was like, "You're goddamn right, I won. The rest of my life is gonna be a victory lap."
Yeah, that rocks.
Yeah. So shout out to Tom. If Tom's listening, Tom, come on the podcast. Love to just catch up.
We talked about video games a minute ago, and I have a bit of an announcement. It's a little bit related. I haven't even told y'all this because I knew I'd have to say it here anyway, and I've got a flair for the dramatic, so I figured why not just do it all at once.
You do.
I have a new job.
Okay.
And this is not something that came about hastily, but it is something I'm uncomfortable. It is something that I have wanted to do for a very long time, and I think it's really cool.
Porn?
What?
I don't know. Just dragging it, bro. Hurry up.
Yeah. So I got a new job, and it is Pressure Makes Diamonds, my pressure washing business on Pressure Washing Simulator.
Oh, let's go!
Oh my God.
Congratulations, Big T.
Yeah.
Wait. You starting a pressure washing business?
Simulator.
It's on a video game. It was a joke.
Oh, bro.
Remember when he was doing the lawn mowing simulation?
That's
That's
not a
setup
joke.
got me. I ain't gonna lie.
No,
Yeah.
it got me too. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
What's the name of this pressure washing?
I
simulator?
wanted the haters and losers to think I was leaving for a minute.
I'm either one, but I was like, damn, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, so I have started a new business. It is called Pressure Makes Diamonds,
Great
and
name.
we will all your pressure washing needs in England because that's where all these simulator games are in England for some reason.
It's a British pressure washing.
Like even the
Does it rain a lot over in England?
yeah, you would think. Even the lawn mowing game was British. It was like, hey, my buddy in Twickenham needs his lawn cut. But so this one, so I've developed a pressure washing business. We're off to a good start. We purchased a brand new pressure washer last night, actually. So
Very cool. What town are you located in?
I think just, England's basically one town.
Uh-huh.
So just kind of downtown,
Okay.
all over.
What model pressure washer do you have?
I should have taken a picture of it. I'll take one tonight and I'll come with more details. But
How long does each job take?
they are, so I've got an arduous one right now. We're cleaning a whole playground. I mean, you would, and if you miss one speck of dirt, it says up 99%. You got to go find that speck of dirt.
Yeah, some Karen's gonna complain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
my 3-year-old crawled over some bird poop.
like I did last night, I had a dirt bike that took 5 minutes. But yeah, right now we're doing an entire playground. It's taken quite a while.
So is this on the computer or do you use your phone?
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Okay. So can you get in VR with it? Is there a VR version?
There must be.
I'm gonna check up on that for you,
Okay.
and we can do it in the metaverse.
Yeah,
if
that'd be
there
great.
is. Just
That seems like the
immersive-
perfect game to have for that.
immersive experience. in
That'd
the
be
metaverse.
awesome.
Well, I'm very happy for you.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna look into streaming it maybe at some point. So
What's your hourly rate on there?
I'm making good money. I think like I'm getting like $1,000 a job,
That's pretty good.
and they're taking a couple hours.
That's really good.
Yeah.
All right. You should also be allowed to like sneak up to buildings in the middle of the night and put graffiti on them. So you develop your own business.
They need to make a graffiti simulator that hooks in with your pressure. So you go to the graffiti game and you tag a bunch of buildings, and then you go into pressure washing and you fix it.
Gotta clean it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. And the name of the game is?
Pressure washer simulator.
Okay, that's very cool.
I think it might actually be called Power Washer. But yeah, something like that.
Okay, I'm pumped for you.
Yeah, so that's my new job.
Please do. Would you say it's satisfying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll screen record for a little bit tonight and I'll send it.
I love that.
Power Wash Simulator is the name of the game. It looks like they have a Shrek DVC? DLC? What's DVC? That's Disney Vacation Club.
DLC is
downloadable content. That's what I was looking for.
so you can like download missions.
Yeah, so I guess Shrek did a thing with it. I need to find the Shrek. But yeah, so I've done somebody's house, playground, car, dirt bike. Yeah, so we're cooking.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
create custom missions maybe on there for yourself?
They
do that?
people send you jobs.
Okay, but yeah, that's next level.
Like your friend, my buddy reached out and was like, "Hey, my mom's house really needs a pee wash."
Okay, yeah, I mean the
So
next
then you
level
give it
to
to
that
'em.
would be you create your own, like you build a 3D model of like the Notre Dame Cathedral, and then you dump like a bunch of tar on it, and then you get a call from Emmanuel Macron, and he's like, "Excuse me, Big T, I need you to come and fix Notre Dame," and then you have to like go across the channel and do it.
That'd be sick.
That would be sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to watch.
Thank you.
I've been in the metaverse on my flight sim recently, just fucking shit up.
Nice.
Just absolutely dropping payloads on Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nice.
Yeah, I created a mission where they have cows in the game, and so I put a herd of cow on the runway at the Las Vegas International Airport, McCarran International Airport, and the cows are Nazi cows. You can like select what country they come from, and so they're cows from the Third Reich, and so I can go by and I can cluster bomb these cows.
Nice. Does it show them blowing up?
It show the graphics on them blowing up aren't that great, but I took a couple screenshots where I think I fired a Maverick missile into the herd of cows, and then one cow was like 60 feet in the air, like just got blown to smithereens.
Nice.
And then on the side of the screen, it tells you how much damage you've done to your opponent, and it's like cow damage 60%.
Hell yeah.
And this cow is torn in half, about close to 100 feet in the air, but only 60% damage. But yeah, the simulator life is pretty great.
Yeah.
It's no power washing, but yeah, we'll look forward to.
Yeah,
hearing more from
I'm
that.
putting in double shifts now, and it's like, where does the time go?
Yeah,
I was working. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, we'll figure out a way in time to do it. But I was working till midnight last night. And that's like, I mean, I got my day job. I got to be up for at 8.
punching that clock.
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you get to like pack a lunch?
I should.
Do you get breaks?
When we stream, I'll take a lunch break.
Yeah, I like that. This episode is being brought to you by Part of My Cheesesteak. It's football playoff time. Ordering Part of My Cheesesteak for your game day meal or late night eats is the best play call that you can make. Part of My Cheesesteak brings you awesome cheesesteaks, loaded fries delivered right to your doorstep, and will be offering free delivery throughout the remainder of football season through the big game. Take your pick of our delicious cheesesteaks made with fresh, thin sliced steak, melted provolone, mouth-watering cheese sauce, and caramelized onions on a toasted hoagie roll. We have classic cheesesteaks, chipotle cheesesteaks, chicken cheesesteaks, buffalo chicken cheesesteaks, and many, many more. You can order the popular Big Cat Combo, get your cheesesteak of choice, fries, and a drink. Find a Part of My Cheesesteak near you. Order yours now at partofmycheesesteak.com. Use promo code AWL and you get free delivery. Partofmycheesesteak.com, promo code AWL for free delivery. Now back to macrodosing. I like that a lot. What else is in the news today? There's something Big T sent over about a Supreme Court case with Pornhub.
So in full disclosure, I haven't listened to the whole thing yet because it came across right as we were fixing to start recording. But apparently Alito asked if Pornhub has good articles like Playboy did.
Yeah.
Because but I don't know if he was being facetious or not.
I mean, that's a great question to ask if you're trying to throw somebody off the scent.
He said, is it like the old Playboy magazine? You have essays there by the modern day equivalent of Gore Vidal and William F. Buckley Jr.
I go to Pornhub for the articles.
That sounds like something he said jokingly,
Yeah.
but I honestly don't know.
All right, so there is a Supreme Court case right now. They're weighing the legality of a Texas law that requires pornographic websites to verify the age of users, but also voice concerns over burdens imposed on adults to view constitutionally protected material. So they're hearing arguments right now. There's an appeal by a trade group representing adult entertainment performers and companies of a lower court's decision that allows the Republican-led state age verification mandate. The lower court decided that the requirement intended to curb access by minors to online pornography likely did not violate the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment safeguard against government abridgment of speech. So I guess at the core of this, it's like if you go to a store, there are measures in place to make sure that minors do not purchase porn, just like they don't purchase tobacco or alcohol by checking their ID. does the internet have that same right to check everybody's ID when you visit it? I think that's what this is getting at. I don't know that there's a great answer to this.
I mean, it seems that they check your ID to buy everything else in person. They check your ID if you go to an R-rated movie.
True.
And so that could be considered speech.
True. If you go to like a booze website, if you go to a website of an alcohol company, they just have you check the box, though. Are you over 18?
Right.
So I guess that's what they used to do on Pornhub, and now they're saying they're saying that some people lied.
This guy.
Well, I don't know if Pornhub had that box on it. Did they?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought Pornhub was just you go to Pornhub and then boom, porn.
X videos does, but I don't know. I think they do. I'm pretty sure.
I'm a big free speech guy.
Yeah.
At the same time, I can say that like there's a lot of really, really bad shit on porn websites that kids are going to get fucked up by seeing. We had to go on quests to find our porn. That's what I think is at the core of it. Like watching porn, viewing a nipple when I was like 12 years old, it took creativity. It took problem solving. It took ingenuity. It took teamwork. Now it's just you type it into oh yeah, sometimes teamwork. Like your friend's dad has this like vault in his closet, has like a box in his closet that he has a lock to, but his son found the key to it. So we're gonna go over there and we're gonna look at his Playboys.
Yeah. Sometimes you find one and you have a hiding spot. And you're like, all right, dog. If you go around the corner, it's behind a blue trash can, but under this rock. You know what I'm saying? It was a thing.
Yeah, and there was the joy of finding porn somewhere where you you had no expectation. I remember one time I used to walk to McDonald's with my friends after sleepovers because the McDonald's in my neighborhood had a breakfast buffet, which the kids don't know about these days. A McDonald's breakfast buffet.
Yeah, this is the first time hearing of this.
And I think it was like $1.99 or $2.99.
Oh, back in the good old days.
Wow.
It rocked. So you would go there, they would have the like buffet cart set up, and it had the hot cakes, it had sausage, eggs. I think they might have had egg McMuffins in there too.
Had to have hash browns.
If I'm not
right?
oh yeah, of course hash browns.
I could do if I really wanted to at a McDonald's breakfast buffet. I think I could do 40 hash browns.
40?
What?
Maybe 30.
30 is still a lot.
That is so.
I could do 30.
What if I paid you $10 for every hash brown that you ate? But to get it, you had to hit the threshold of 40.
Then I could get there.
We got to do that.
The problem is
that's a video.
Okay.
40 hash browns.
I was certain.
Plus.
Or still after dark.
I was certain one time I could eat 100 Chick-fil-A nuggets, and I didn't get there. But we just ordered a tray that was supposed to have 100 on it, and I'm pretty sure it had like 115. So we weren't counting. We were just assuming the tray had 100 on it, and I think there were more.
Frank couldn't even do 50.
I could do 100 easy.
No, you can't. I tried to do it after Giannis won the NBA championship. You remember when he went to Chick-fil-A?
He got 50.
And he ordered 50. I tried to eat 50. I think I got very high before.
I could do 50 in my sleep.
I don't know. All right.
Those are small.
Mad Dog McKenzie, we're doing a video where Big T has to eat 40 McDonald's hash browns.
Okay.
But do I get the money?
If you get over 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
41?
Now
I can do this like tomorrow.
Now that I'm thinking about it, 40's a lot.
Oh, well, you agreed to it.
All right. Yeah.
I will say you need to have Imodium like on deck. Those things are greasy.
Yeah.
What's Imodium?
Anti-diarrhea medication.
No.
Block you right up.
But back to the McDonald's breakfast buffet, which was magical.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
And I wish it would come back. We used to go there on Saturday or Sunday morning after a sleepover at my house. We'd walk to the McDonald's. And to get to the McDonald's, you had to walk across a middle school field that had baseball diamond, track, football field. And so we walked across this field, and in the third base dugout, which was just essentially a bench, there were Playboy trading cards underneath that bench. And I remember one, her name was Susie Thompson. I think it was Susie something. And said, if you knew Susie. And I was like, what is this? I picked it up. Just giant boobs. Giant boobs. And that was finding gold. There's never been a more
How many
exciting
fellas
time.
were you with?
I think three or
Nice.
4. But it was, you had quests that you would go on sometimes to find porn. And now it's taken away the ingenuity of the adolescent male to try to figure out ways to find it. So for that reason, I'm okay with it.
It is kind of desensitized now. I mean, it's not like it's not reward. You know, it's boobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the same. It don't hit like it used to.
Did you see the woman who slept with 1,000 men the other day?
I did not see this.
I think in 12 hours.
Bonnie Blue, or whatever her name's in.
Is this? I don't know. You know what? We're in a fallen state, Big T.
Brother, tell me about it.
There was ever a time, Jesus Cristo, bring your ass back, brother. We
He's
need you.
coming.
1,000 in a day is wild, dogs.
Is she the same one who did 100?
No.
Oh, jeez.
It's an arms race.
Did you see Jack Max?
I mean,
Did you see Jack Max tweet?
yes, I did see his tweet.
It's the baby arms race.
It is.
I texted him about it.
It's just going to keep going. Somebody's going to die.
I mean,
Like
Right.
You die from too much sex.
dehydration. I don't know. Or maybe does cum hydrate you?
But no, man.
this one, the video she put out talking about it, like the other one was crying and was like, this is the worst thing that's ever
Yeah.
happened to me. And she did 100.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl was like, I
Well,
feel
no,
amazing.
That's not what she claimed. That's not what she claimed. She claimed that she was only upset because she couldn't totally please everybody that came out. That's why
Right,
she-
but
she
the
was-
experience upset her.
Yeah, I'm sure this one did too. Do we?
She seemed to be
12 hours.
There's no way.
How many? Let's do the math.
Yeah.
Quick maths.
Here.
How many dudes per hour is that?
Okay, so
Like
12.
90.
12 hours times 60. That's 720 minutes in 12 hours. So each dude gets
Again, I'm guessing
1.38 minutes
I'm guessing they were not all.
to completion.
No, I don't think they were all individual.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Like she's doing 10 at a time?
But does that count?
10.
Does that count
I
as
don't know.
sex?
Oh my God, are you really?
I don't know, dude. Like if,
Like if you're
if 1,000 went through there,
but each guy would have to have alone, like individual time with the vagina for it to count as sex.
But that doesn't
I
mean
think
they
you're
have to
reading
be
way
alone
too
in a
much into
room.
it.
Why are you creating these parameters around her?
Well, if she's claiming a record, there should be some measure of like integrity in this.
It's the integrity of the sport.
Yeah. So each
I
guy
don't
gets 90 seconds,
Yeah.
80 seconds.
Not even.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, that is a physical feat. Like the amount of grit and endurance she had to have.
Yeah, grit week.
By the way, it'd be less than a minute if it was one-on-one. There's 720 minutes and 1,000 dudes.
Or wait, yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I did the
But
math
again,
backwards.
I'm guessing
it would
Probably
be
multiples.
It would be 0.72 minutes, so that's about 45 seconds.
Okay.
Bruh, the mindset of the dudes in the latter half, just the mindset of dudes in general, but especially the dudes in the latter half, like, bro, I'm 786, and you just walk into a room of
Oh,
ass cheek
the smell.
rubbing. It's gotta be one of the most grotesque things. Like at some point, how are you still aroused?
who
Like,
should be more ashamed, her or the last 300 dudes?
Dudes.
all of them, everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone should have
Equal.
shame about this.
I agree, but
You think everyone except for guy number 1?
even him. I mean,
guy
he
number
got
one
the
doesn't
best
know.
deal of the crew, but
He should still feel shame.
Yeah. How much longer are we gonna go with this? Like how?
It seems to be a thing right now.
Because
the beast is gonna hop in.
Girl number
she
one
attempts
has
to sleep with.
Girl number one has to clap back, right?
Yeah.
No pun intended. The girl that cried. She needs to clap back.
She just ups it about 1,001 in an hour, and it just goes.
Yeah. What was Jack Mac's tweet? Like he's in love with this lady?
Yeah, he was like, she's actually really gorgeous, which is like unlike.
Wait, I'll pull it up.
I don't know the exact.
We have to.
He was basically like simping for her.
Yes. So Jack Mack said on this girl, he said, "Gonna sound like a simp, but the most fascinating part of Bonnie Blue to me is she is legit beautiful. Could have been a low-tier model or influencer, I'm sure. Most porn stars have a look about them. Hard to describe, but when you see it, you know it. Bonnie doesn't have it at all. Just a top-tier beauty who is now sleeping with 1,000 men a day."
I texted him about this take.
And
He's
then
not wrong.
he said,
but,
you-
like,
I think he's very wrong.
Well, him saying she's so pretty she could be a low tier model. There was a Flight of the Conchords song, and he was like, "You're so beautiful, you could be a waitress." Like you got to be a little bit. That's a pretty low bar.
He
replies are very
He
funny.
replied to his own tweet. He said, "You will all boo me, but I'm right." And then an hour later said, "Not gonna delete. I am stronger than the hate."
She's an attractive woman. I'll give him that.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
so-
part I agree with.
Yeah,
If
like,
you showed me a picture of her and said, "PFT, is this woman attractive?" I would say yes. Objectively, she's an attractive lady. But like to do a deep dive into all the reasons why she's attractive. Like I don't think I've ever seen a woman and then described in detail why I find her attractive, like right off the bat. Like to analyze.
I
what
think she
career
has
could
low-tier
have.
model potential.
Yeah, what career she could have because of her beauty. Strange take, Jack Mack, but that's okay. He's stronger than the hate.
Yep,
Listen, Jack stands by his takes.
he does.
He
I
does.
respect that about him.
What's he gonna do without TikTok?
You know, he's just coming off another war on Twitter. Did you see that one?
No.
Kyron Lacey, the LSU receiver, I don't know if he's been arrested yet or if he's just wanted for manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack tweeted, I think he said shocking, and it was a picture of Kyron Lacey who got a flag in their first game this year against USC for like pointing a fake AR-15 at a guy repeatedly and shooting him.
I thought that was a shotgun, by the way, when I first saw it. I thought
Whatever.
but he shot him like 4 times.
Yes.
with it.
And then went to after
Yeah.
he got the flag, went to the sideline and was showing his teammates. He was like, "Yeah, I lit him up." And that has 43,000 likes and hundreds of comments. And so he's coming off that.
So he was saying like shocking that the guy that simulated shooting a shotgun
Killed a guy.
but the way that he killed him was not like with a gun.
Sure.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
He was racing his car, swerved into traffic. Somebody swerved to avoid his car and then hit a third party.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess you could draw a correlation between recklessness. But yeah, so he's had a bunch of replies on that.
Yeah. Big T, did you see the college football news yesterday? A guy that we talked about on this here program, Matthew Sluka,
Yeah,
quarterback from UNLV, at one time quarterback for Holy Cross, has transferred. And when he went to UNLV, he was promised, what was it, like $100,000?
Yeah, I forget what it was.
And he transferred after, 2 games?
I think 3 or 3 or 4 because he didn't want to play in the next one and lose the year of eligibility.
Yeah, so he was claiming that the UNLV boosters or whoever was in charge of the NIL collective out there, they did not fulfill their promise to him and they did not pay him the money. And so he said, okay, well, I have to transfer. At the time, I think I said, like, look for him at JMU next year because Bob Chesney was his coach at Holy Cross, who's now at JMU. Sure enough, we fast forward. We got him. We got Matthew Sluka. So I'm excited about it because he's a dynamic running quarterback. He should be fun to watch. But I'm hearing from a lot of the haters out there being like, he's gone once that check doesn't clear. But
I would make sure all of that is in writing and very ironed out.
Yeah, so a lot of people were accusing me of offering money to him to go to school there. I think I did offer him money on this podcast once we found out that he was transferring. I don't think that was binding. So I guess I'm really incriminating myself right now. Like if he does transfer, maybe it's because I said I would pay him on the show, and then I don't know. We'll see. I hope it works out well. At the time I was very sympathetic to his journey because I feel like we're in the Wild West right now, and if somebody offers you $100,000 and then they don't pay you the money, then yeah, you should be entitled to leave, right?
Yeah, I mean, that should have been in writing.
Agreed.
But yeah,
Agreed. So, all right. JMU's back.
we got our guy.
We got our guy. That's the guy. And then we also got another quarterback from Richmond. So that's I texted Liam Blutman when I saw the Richmond guy, and I was like, tell me about the Richmond quarterback. Should I be excited about him? And Blutman responded with, I don't know if Sluka's going to want the competition. And that's how I learned that Sluka had decided to transfer to JMU.
You know, he's very anti-Sluka.
Why? Oh, because
Blutman.
UNLV?
No, he's I think he just doesn't like him.
Oh. Well, there's a lot of stuff Blutman doesn't like.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't
I
like
heard,
the Washington Capitals.
I heard that it was him, Montoya, and Jacob that were telling me about a concept they're working on called, it wasn't Boom or Doom, it was
Dope or Nope.
Dope or Nope.
Yeah.
And they're just, my understanding was they just name stuff till they find something that Blutman thinks is dope, which I think is an incredible show.
That is a good show.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. What are the Costco guys going to do without TikTok?
They have a new single dropping tomorrow.
Also just pivot full time into music?
Yeah. I was actually worried that they'd been a little too quiet in 25.
So they did a Christmas anthem. What holiday is coming up? MLK? Is this going to be an MLK song?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
James Earl Ray, Doom.
Did you see the
FBI?
Yeah.
Did you see them giving 5 big booms to the guy's brother who died?
I did see that, yeah.
It was fucking funny,
Stuff.
dog.
Oh, very sorry to hear about your
that,
brother. Let's give him 5 big booms.
It says 5 boom
Boom,
salute.
boom, boom.
And you could
boom,
tell the
boom.
kid didn't really know what was going on. The dad was like, "It's kind of weird."
I mean, you got to give him boom. You can't doom him.
Right.
No.
And you can't give him one boom.
No.
You can do him. What are they gonna do? Done.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about them in this time. I hope that they're able to pivot.
I hope they
they'll find a way.
crash. Hope they crash.
They'll be on Red Note.
I'm sure.
It is crazy. Like, if it goes away forever, which I don't think is going to happen, but I guess it looks like it right now. There are a ton of people who are making a shit ton of money right now that got to figure something out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Like, have we ever had, I guess, when Vine went away, all those people pivoted to YouTube.
Yeah.
Or Instagram.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Big T. Bring back Vine. Vine was a great social media platform.
You had to be funny.
Yeah.
Because you had a very small amount of time to do your bit.
Yeah, capture my attention in 6 seconds. And then Vine stars got massive, and then you remember they had the Vine house?
I do not remember
Out in
Vine.
California?
I remember the TikTok houses.
A bunch of Vine creators, they were like, yeah, we're all doing really well in Vine, so we're just all going to move in together and make Vines together. And they would try to like make little pieces of cinema in 6 seconds or less.
Was that King Batch?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was
remember.
one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Lily Pons,
Mm-hmm. Brittany Furlan.
the Paul brothers. That's where they got their start.
Yeah.
I put a lot of shit on Vine back in the day. That was sometimes when I go back and I look for videos, like the Jameis Winston, Jim Harbaugh interview, where Jim Harbaugh was like, "You a sex addict?
Yeah.
You got a sex problem? You addicted to sex?" I go back and look for that, and it's a dead link to a Vine tweet that I had, and there's just a lot of stuff that the internet ate up. Like it's gone forever because Vine went down. Bring back Vine and MySpace. Maybe partner up.
Vine Space.
VineSpace, I like that. Big T, you teed off about anything?
No, just the McConaughey commercial. I don't think anything has piqued my fancy since then.
That's residual. It just keeps.
I mean, it comes on every day. I'm sure. I got to watch the UT game tonight. I'm sure it'll be on.
Yep.
There's
Sure
in the Drake saga, Sperry Rare's go ahead and fast forward, but in the Drake saga, he has in his lawsuit against UMG, his original he had a petition
Yeah.
that claimed that UMG was responsible for kind of botting the Not Like Us record.
And at the time when he put the petition out, everybody was like saying that Drake is suing his own record label, almost as a way to be like, look at this fucking guy. Even though it wasn't a lawsuit, everybody was saying it was like, you're basically suing him. And then he took that information and that backlash, and he was like, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I am going to actually sue them.
Yeah, so a lot of his fans were like, oh, he's doing this for the betterment of the small artists because it's, it's saturating the market. It's not a fair playing field. So he's doing it for all artists. Well, he kind of withdrew that petition, and I think it's still open with like iHeartRadio, but he withdrew it with like Spotify, and they kind of with a mutual, like there's nobody has any losses on either side. But then today he filed a defamation lawsuit against them, alleging that they knowingly distributed this that is, defaming him with the allegations in the Not Like Us song, saying, he's, a pedophile, and there's stuff in there saying like, Kendrick threatened him. Kendrick threatened him, saying if he goes to Oakland, which is where he grew up, which is not even true. He grew up in Compton. It's like on the other side of California. And so he said he threatened to go, if he goes to Oakland, it'll be a last stop. Like shit like that. And it's just, the more you read about this shit, the more it's like, no, you just got to take the L, family.
Yeah.
But I think his ultimate goal is he wants to get the song not being played at the Super Bowl. I think that's his ultimate goal. Because it's happening fast, which I understand that notion because it is one of the biggest records of all time, honestly, in hip hop, and especially in the moment of which it was. But he's like stepping on the gas, which defamation is so hard to prove in court, especially when it's in an entertainment, because you can pivot and say it's just entertainment. It's very hard to prove in court. So there's no way they really think they're gonna win this. There's just I don't see it happening. But I don't know, man. That's the saga and the Drake.
So you think he's trying to intimidate CBS and the NFL from letting Kendrick Lamar perform Not Like Us during the Super Bowl because they'll be afraid that they'll be named in the lawsuit?
That could be a play. He also alleges that UMG used Not Like Us and the defamation in it to lessen his leverage in the negotiation contracts that was coming up with Drake. So Drake was in the midst of negotiating a contract, and since UMG is both under, I think, Universal and Interscope, which I think Drake's under Universal. He might be not under Universal, but their labels are both under UMG, and he's saying that because we have a new contract coming up, you leverage this song to dilute my influence for contract negotiations. So that could be a play. What you said could be. It all could be tied into a lot that's very multifaceted. But again, I think it's very unprecedented in hip hop, and the irony writes itself. The song "Not Like Us," you're suing for defamation. It's exactly something people in that culture don't do. So I don't know, man. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like proving the point made by the song. I think that there's probably a pretty. You could bet that the NFL is not going to allow Kendrick Lamar to say certified pedophile on the halftime show.
I would agree with that. He's gonna have to edit a lot of it out. And honestly, Kendrick is so I don't know that he'll make that the center stage of his. It's one of his biggest songs of all time. I think it's like top 3 or 4 songs he's ever done. So I'm almost positive he'll play it, but I don't think he'll make it the centerpiece. Kendrick, anytime he has the opportunity to perform, he always highlights any kind of social or political messaging. That's usually his play. It could be a little victory rap to stomp on his grave, but there's so much going on in the world. Trump's going to be inaugurated soon. He's came out against him before. There's LA fires going on right now in his hometown. That will probably take precedence. So like, it depends on his play, but I don't think he's going to make a center stage. He may, but I would doubt it. I wouldn't put my money on it.
I agree with that. I think he'll perform some of it, but it's not going to be it's not going to be like at that concert that he played where he did it 5 times in a row.
No, and I think for that reason, I think that's what that was for. The Super Bowl is more like about who he is, what he represents, and I mean, you have the opportunity of a lifetime. I don't think you want to make it about another man. That's what I would assume he's going to do, but you never know.
Yeah, he might. If he does the certified pedophile part, he probably won't say it, but he'll probably just cut the music and let 90,000 people say certified pedophile. Which would almost be more powerful in that segment. Yeah. I'm looking through the lyrics right now. I'm trying to figure out, if he does Not Like Us, what part he would do. Like, what's the most acceptable for an international audience at the biggest stage?
Maybe the first verse, maybe. Maybe the last verse.
Verse 3, where he's talking about Atlanta.
Yeah, his last verse where he's talking about all the Atlanta artists, and then he's the colonizer.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, it's just not. The bop is like very nuanced, so a worldwide audience. I mean, it was a big battle though, so like it was worldwide. I don't know. We'll see.
What is the owl? That's going to tie into Bohemian Grove, which we're going to get into in just a little bit here.
I see you. Oh, in other court news, the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, filed a lawsuit against Elon Musk. And did you hear about this?
I heard about it, but I did not care to read into it at the time. So educate me.
Right. So basically, they're alleging that he failed to disclose his acquisition of, I think it was like more than like 5% of the Twitter stock. I guess there's like this 10-day period that you have to disclose that. And I guess this delay, it allowed him to like purchase more shares at lower prices, and he saved around 150 million allegedly. That's a lot of legalities that I would know nothing about, but of course, that's what I've noticed about billionaires, dog. They're like always like, nope, not true. This is a corrupt institution, and they're wasting their time just going after me for political reasons, that type of shit. That's his rebuttal to it. And so they're
going after the little man.
There's real crimes going on, and they're wasting their time on this. And the more I read into Elon Musk, dog, because I did a little digging on him just in general, the more I dislike him. Like, it's wild, because I was like, okay, maybe it's a bad rap, okay, I do live in a little bubble online, as we all do, and maybe I'm just getting bad information, but I started reading more and more. This nigga didn't invent anything. Like, there's not one thing he invented. And like everything that he's involved in, if you could say he has a talent, his talent is like marketing himself and his companies that he buys himself into as innovative. And they're not.
Does he have a talent for optimization? For instance, with SpaceX, which I think is the coolest thing that he's a part of. Like, they shot a fucking rocket into space and then they caught the rocket. That's pretty crazy. That's a big deal to be able to reuse that shit. Does he have an ability to take the concept of like interplanetary space travel and streamline it to a point where you can make a profitable business out of it and still have it work?
But see, this is where I think people fall for the tricks, right? Is we judge him on what he says he's going to do, and we never judge him on what he's actually done. If you look at his claims versus what he's done, and I can hear all the Elon Musk attractions like, well, what about you? Like, it's the thing about me, dog. I'm just trying to judge it objectively because I think I get a bad reading from him from the people that I interact with online. But when I actually read into it, his claims are so wild that it's hard to take him serious in the past. Like, if you look at, like, you remember the Hyperloop, for example.
Yeah.
Go look at what the Hyperloop is now. It's a Tesla taxi system.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is, dog. And if you look at all of his claims, dog, I could list them. It's just nothing ever comes to fruition. And he uses government subsidies to fund all this stuff. And so he like markets himself as this brainiac genius who's going to usher us into the next generation, when everything that he said he was going to do, it's never an original idea. It's an older idea that he wants to capitalize off of and then make his own, and then it never happens. Mm-hmm. But he gets all this government funding to fund other things. SpaceX to me is the newest thing, and that is probably the most successful thing that he's done. But everything else, it's just not that innovative. And relatively, because I haven't innovated shit either, but I also haven't claimed to. But relatively, if you look at, like, remember his Tesla robotic thing?
Yep.
The robot, that's years behind actual people doing robotics in the field. It's years behind it. But like he has branded himself as this like genius, and I failed to see it. And it's fascinating because people keep falling for it.
Yeah, his timelines are always a little bit off too.
Way off.
Yeah, he'll say we're gonna be at Mars in like 5 years. We're gonna be capable of doing this. I think he's got. When it comes to SpaceX, he's got great ideas, and he's very good at saying he's going to do something and going like full speed towards that goal. And he's always wrong about how long it takes to get there.
There was an article I read that said he's been promising fully automated self-driving cars, I think, every year since 2014. So, and I said it because I have a Tesla, right? And one of the first things I noticed when I bought my Tesla was that it's not a luxury car. It's branded as luxury. It looks luxury, but like once you have it, it's very poorly built. Like, mm-hmm. And I say that in juxtaposition with a Mercedes, a Cadillac, a Lexus, like those kind of cars, like the quality of the materials inside it's high quality stuff. And when you go into a Tesla, it's not the same. And if you look online, that's just not my claim. It's my experience, but it's just not my claim. A lot of people feel the same way about Tesla cars. They just don't really feel like a luxury car. Now, granted, I think it's very convenient. I think electric cars are the future, but I just think that it's just not very well built. And I say that as like because I feel like I kind of fell for the hype in the beginning stages of Tesla and Elon Musk and his, but like as more and more you look into him, the way he's kind of like, he's a little conny, dog. You look into his claims and what he's done versus what he's claimed to do, it's not, it ain't matching up.
With PayPal, he wasn't like the inventor of PayPal.
No, and they voted him off because he was fucking up. Yeah. Tesla, not a founder. And I think he actually sued, double check me on this, but I think he actually sued the original founders to be able to say that he was a founder. I believe that may be true. I heard that, or I read that somewhere, but I'm not sure of the facts of it.
My favorite Elon Musk scandal that's currently unfolding right now is that people are accusing him of paying somebody to boost the level of one of his video game characters.
Shit like that, bro.
In a game called Path of Exile 2. So he claims to be one of the top ranked players in the world at, was it Diablo 4? But there's another game, Path of Exile 2, and he streamed himself playing it the other day, and he has one of the highest ranked players in the world on it. I think it's like level 97, whatever that means. And he's ranked 9th in the world. The game level that he plays at is the hardcore mode. And the hardcore mode is if your character dies, he's permanently dead. You can't bring that character back ever again. So he was playing on hardcore mode, and then everybody that was watching it, the other players that play this game, they were like, well, that he's not acting like somebody that plays a lot of this game. He's unfamiliar with a lot of the actions that the character has to do. Like, he didn't know how to loot correctly. If you were at that level, you would be an expert at all that shit. So they noticed that he was not acting like an expert at it, and then his character died. So that guy's dead forever. So he accidentally killed his own character. So everyone's like, yeah, he was paying somebody to boost the level of his character. I'll say that if I had as much money as Elon Musk, at some point I would probably do something stupid like that. If you have unlimited money,
I don't think you would.
you don't think so?
No, because like gaming is like so. Like I don't play that game, but I mean I don't consider myself a gamer, but I do a game. I watch Twitch streamers, shit like that. And the game that I'm into is Valorant, right? Like that's called boosting, right? And there's different things like I could give my account to somebody who's really good at Valorant, and they could boost me. I could go be immortal. I could be radiant, right? But that to me that takes the fun out of the game. It's like you grind to get to the skill level so you can compete at a high level. It would be extremely egotistical and just narcissistic to be like, boost me, I'll claim this is where I'm at for no other reason. Like nobody expects the richest man in the world who's an owner of all these different companies to be one of the best video game players in this specific game. Nobody would expect that. You'd be like, yo, I like playing this game and I'm alright at it. Why lie?
Yeah, if he's got 7 jobs and he's also a world-class gamer at this one specific game that requires a lot of time, how good can you be at your 9 jobs that you do?
Yeah, and you about to be the head of a government department?
I still think that's a fake department. I think that's Trump's like, thank you for helping me get elected. Here's what you're going to be in charge of. Give me your recommendations, and then I'll implement like one of the 100 things that you recommend.
I don't disagree with that take, but you got a lot of moving parts, B. So
Yeah.
just play the game at where you at. That to me, that just screams. But like once you look at Elon, that's kind of his whole thing is to oversell who he is and what he's done and what he's capable of.
So here's where I would differ from what I would do. I think he wanted to stream himself playing this game and let all the like people in tech, all the gamers think, oh, cool, Elon's like us. He's just a true gamer at heart, right? Mm-hmm. So he wanted to do it for like cool points. I could see myself having somebody like level myself up in a game for money because there was a feature that I wanted to play with, or there was something cool that you get once you reach this level and I didn't have the time to get there, and then I would just go home and do that for my own enjoyment, possibly.
But see, this is where you're giving him too much credit. Like I think you would admit that, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, like I think you play the game that you play, which is the pilot simulator.
Flight simulator. It's not a game. Yeah. It's a realistic combat simulator.
I apologize, family. My fault.
Hyper realistic.
But you play that real life combat simulator because you enjoy it, right? Mm-hmm. It's something that you enjoy. And so you kind of take pride in the skill set that you've developed throughout your journey of that game, right?
I'm still very bad, but yes, I do take pride.
Right? So, but like you know where you're at. And I don't think that you would get online to relate to people to say, this is where, like the pride and joy that you have in the game, mm-hmm. you personally, comes from the skill set that you've developed. Mm-hmm. Like that could be the case, but what he boasts about is his level and his ranking, right?
Yeah.
I'm one of the top players in the world. And if this is your level and your ranking, why are you like, why would you lie about that though? It's just goofy. You don't gotta lie about that. That's like some, you don't gotta lie. You would capture the gamers' hearts if you were just like, hey, I'm pretty shit at this game, or I'm average at this game, but this is fun. You know, it's fun to play.
Yeah.
I have a second announcement.
Okay.
I'm opting out of all Elon Musk content in 2025.
Okay.
He is.
Good luck.
As far as I am concerned, he's gone. He has nothing to do with me. I'm sick of hearing about him.
Okay.
I can't take it anymore. Him and Jason Kelsey are being shoved down my throat in ways that I've never seen before. Everywhere you turn, it's Elon Musk or Jason Kelsey. Those are your only 2 options anymore, and I can't take it. I can't handle it. We just did 30 minutes on Elon Musk. I can't do it anymore.
I like,
and in the middle there's a commercial with
McConaughey.
You sound like Frank the Tank right now.
Yeah, you did.
No, I don't. It's too much. I can't take it anymore.
I like Jason Kelsey. I think he's a good dude.
I don't dislike him.
But he's everywhere.
Yes.
Take a break.
I actually haven't seen him anywhere. Where has he?
He has a late night show right now.
Dude, he's the podcast. He's on Monday Night Countdown, Sunday Night Countdown. He somehow has a contract with every broadcaster of the NFL. I don't know how that works. He's on everything.
This is This is great though. There's not many, and I think a lot of it has to do with who his brother is and who his brother is dating. But it's rare that a lineman can pivot to that level of success.
Yeah. That is true, and for that I commend him.
And I understand where he's at. Like, you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Oh, I don't begrudge him at all.
He's cashing in big time, and he's getting his mom involved, getting her some money. He's getting his wife involved. So I don't think he's. I think that's a good thing that he's doing all that. It shows me that he might be like a really good dude. And he seems very likable, but he is every fucking way.
He seems like a great person. I'm so glad that he, in his post-playing career, has found something that he loves doing, and I'm sure he's making a ton of money doing it. I think that's awesome. I personally, though, I want to see Jason Kelce once every 3 weeks.
Yep.
I don't need to see Jason Kelce every single day.
I agree.
Much the same with Elon Musk.
We know who Big T wants to see less of in 2025. Who does Big T want to see more of in 2025?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
The Costco guys, obviously. We need more.
Well, okay. Well, I vetoed that. You vetoed my Elon Musk stock and vetoed the Costco guys.
Are we talking like in media? I mean, I guess that's the only
anything. What content does Big T want to see more of?
Give me to the end of the show, and I'll have an answer for you.
Okay.
Because I don't think of that very often. I only think of the things that you need to see less of.
I don't think of the things I like. I just think of the things I don't like.
I mean, to some extent that's true, but also like you don't like the things I like. I would say are in finite supply. I don't know that I I love watching Tennessee basketball. They have 31 games. No matter what I do, they're playing 31 games until the postseason, and that is what it is. I don't watch like shows and be like, oh, I wish there was more of this show.
Really?
Well, I don't watch a ton of shows. The only TV I watch is sports. I don't. There are a couple streaming shows I'll watch. Like Night Agent is coming back this month. Love the first season of the Night Agent.
Everybody has referred me to that.
Did you watch it?
I started it last night and I fell asleep, but I'm really excited about it. I fell asleep the first episode. It wasn't because of the thing. I was just super tired.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I'm gonna start that because I just got off of Squid Games 2.
Me too.
And, hey, brother, I love that show. 1 and 2. I love the show. I'm obsessed with it. Love it.
I'm with you. I saw a lot of people did not like season 2. I liked season 2. The ending pissed me off so much.
Yeah, it pissed me off because I was like, you can't leave us hanging like this till next season, and it did.
Yeah.
But did you see at the end? Ooh, this might be a spoiler.
Don't want to do spoilers. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But very excited for season 3. You know, it should be coming this summer or fall. They said.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. I understand how sometimes they could be a little bit. I feel like that's like that cinema, that culture of cinema. Sometimes that could be a little overacting and a little, it could be a little cheesy at times. But as far as like, it's one of the better plotline stories that I've seen. Like, and cinematically how it's shot, gorgeous.
Do you watch it with the subtitles on, or do you watch it with the overdubs?
Subtitles. Overdubs may be the worst thing ever.
I watch it with the overdubs.
This is why. I thought the main character, what's his name? I'm gonna fuck it up anyway. The main character who won the first season. That's not a spoiler. This is what it is. I thought I watched season 1. The first season I watched it with the overdubs, and I was like, God, everybody's kind of like corny acting. It's great plot line. Everybody's corny acting. I watched it with their voices and subtitles. They're so much better actors when you can hear their diction and you can hear how they enunciate and their passion. It's very, very different watching like that. So I respect that. He's an amazing actor. They have maybe one of my favorite scenes in any movie, any show of all time. Any movie, any show of all time in season 2. It's when he's looking for, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but if he's looking for the dude pop the games, he's looking for that dude, finds that dude, and they have a sit down. That scene is so emotionally charged. It is no, I love that scene, dog. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's probably a better way to watch it if you watch it with the subtitles on. But it's also, that's a show that I watch usually while I'm eating dinner. And so I'm looking down at my food. Can't always be reading everything. So I
You
said,
have to
fuck
pay
it.
attention. You have to pay attention.
I said, fuck it. I'll just do the voiceover. And it's still good. Mad Dog McKenzie, you guys made off or macked off about anything?
Oh, I don't think so.
How many boys have submitted their application?
We are up to 3,200.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I started going through some yesterday. There are definitely people that are applying.
That's good.
They
That's
definitely
got
are
to feel
people.
good, Matt. Come on.
No, yes, it's just like insane. It's insane.
No, man.
They're all like, I have to counter in that like at least 80% of them are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
You
more. So that
I don't know if they're crazy. It might maybe
They're
some
just-
some weirdos.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Some of
just
them
like
are
big
crazy.
Barstool fans.
Yeah.
Bring me in and let Big Bro filter when you get towards the end. Cause that's
Yeah.
I'm not, you know
So-
what I mean?
So they
I'm
were.
a-
Oh yeah, because the first, however many, like they'll get it down to maybe like
40 or
40.
something.
They said, and then I still won't know like what they look like. I just have to pick them based off like the prompts that they're given and like what they send in.
I hate
So like
that.
And
I would have seen them. All the girls that are filtering would have seen them.
kind of like Love Is Blind.
Yeah.
But they were also
love is not blind. Love is blurry. We've proven.
exactly. But I trust the girls. Like I trust them that they'll all be like all the 40 would be good enough anyway. So it won't matter what they look like, sort of thing.
All right.
But yeah, I'll let you know when we're doing, because I think we'll have like, I don't know how many the final will be, but those will be in person. So that would be very funny if you could come. And
Yeah.
they mentioned John Gruden doing that too, but
You would-
obviously we'd rather Arian.
Like it's quarterback camp?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You have to get through quarterback camp.
Yeah.
Now look, I like this guy.
Yeah.
So show me what you do here on 72 Snug Right. He was here last week, and we've done this a couple times now where he diagrams a play in like 5 minutes, and then we go out there and run it. And
he did 300 jet. I saw it.
Yeah, and he's
That
being
should give him
dead ass
PTSD.
serious, and like people are laughing like, "Oh, this is funny," and he's not kidding at all. Like this is not a game to him.
Yeah.
He likes your work though, Big T.
I love his work as well.
You've impressed him.
I'm his left tackle.
Yeah, he's very impressed with you. He hates Spider at right guard. He's like, my right guard weighs 75 pounds. Can't run an offense.
He's the
with that.
best. I want to see more Gruden in 2025. That's who I want to see more of.
Yep.
Well, you work with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's the man.
Yeah,
He
we
also-
should get a Big T Gruden.
He
Content.
loves you, Arian.
Yeah.
I brought you up to him last weekend on the stream. He's like,
Oh, where?
Arian Foster, man. That guy. You used to love watching that guy run with a football.
Yeah, man.
That guy gave me nightmares.
Also true. Anytime you respect the game, people that respect the game, they'll show love, man. I remember my favorite, one of my favorite moments in the NFL was I don't know if I told the story, but in 2010 we played the Baltimore Ravens, and at that time I'm leading the league in rushing and having a good year. And it's a Monday night game. We wearing all red uniforms, and that's when Baltimore's defense was like really, really good. You know, I had to put a bill on them. You know what I'm saying? But I go up to it's like timeout or something like that. I go up to Ray Lewis in the middle of a game. Never spoke with him. Never did. I was like, hey, yo, man, I grew up watching you play. I just want to say, you know, big fan. You know, honored to play against you. He turns to me and says, hey, young man, I love the way you play this game. I watched you on film. I love the way you play this game. So you keep doing what you're doing. I was like, God, that's love. You know what I'm saying? He ain't had to do that. And then in that off season, I seen him at a hotel lobby in LA, and went up to him. I was like, yo, man, I didn't even get it. He's like, Arian, what's going on? And sat down. We chopped it up for hours, and we was cool ever since then, man. That was a good dude, man.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
It's got to feel good having a legend be like, yeah, respect.
Mm-hmm. And then that next year we played him in the playoffs. I hated him on the phone, and I was like, yo, let's swap jerseys. And that was the beginning of the commercialization of jersey swaps in the NFL. It got really big after that.
You started it?
You started
I don't
the
want to say
trend?
I don't want to say it's I didn't see it prevalent like that. And then when we did it, it was like a big moment because they said it on the broadcast. It was like gathered around, like everybody gathered around afterwards. And I just didn't see it like that before that. But then after that, you saw it everywhere. But I'm not saying that's I'm sure people swap jerseys before, but it became like a thing. Like I remember I tried to trade jerseys with Gerard Mayo my rookie year. And he was like, man, I don't know, man. They don't really like that. I'm like, the fuck do you mean they don't like that, bro? Go get your jersey, dog, and give it to me.
Yeah, the Patriots, they don't like that.
Did we talk about him getting fired?
No, that's bullshit. But I kind of knew it was coming. I figured they wanted Vrabel. Like that's kind of probably always the play. And so they needed somebody to, and if he did good, they'd had a harder time firing him, but they just didn't have a good squad, man. They just didn't.
So you're Houston Texans playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, returning champions. You think you guys have a chance?
Because it was a good moment, and they just celebrated me a little bit, and I don't think that I don't think so.
It's tough to win in that building.
I think Kansas City is just one of the better teams in the NFL, and I just have a hard time rooting against Patrick Mahomes. Not rooting, but just going against Patrick Mahomes. I think he's just one of the best quarterbacks that this world has seen.
I had the easiest time going against him.
Yeah, it's tough, man. They're gonna have to play flawless football. I think in order to beat the recipe for beating great quarterbacks is always the same. You have to run the football efficiently, you have to run the clock out, and you have to convert on your third downs.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Chiefs defense is very good, and it's tough. They don't have a lot of weapons on Houston. They got a lot of injuries. Now I love Joe Mixon. I love how he plays. I think he's capable. Like I said, I think Houston has a shot to beat anybody, but they have to play good. They got to play good on D. The game plan on defense has to be solid. There's a lot of things have to go their way in order for them to win. It's possible, but it's unlikely in my opinion. But you never know, man. That's why they play on field.
Yeah, if they can get a pass rush going like they got last week, let Stingley make some plays in the secondary. If Patrick Mahomes is under pressure, he fires off a couple throws that should be picked off.
But see, again, he's one of the better quarterbacks to accuracy under pressure, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the best way to beat him, a Brady, a Manning, has always been the same: keep him off the field.
Yep. And I think the real tough part for the Texans is going to be the Chiefs' defensive line, trying to keep them out of the backfield because they're really fucking good.
Yep.
What's the key? All right, so that's a good keys to the game in terms of how to beat a great all-time Hall of Fame quarterback. What are the keys to the game and how to beat a team that's really good at running the football with a dominant offensive line?
Who is this?
Just hypothetical team.
In order to beat a really good team that's good at running the ball, you need to confuse their front, right? So, a little more technical, but I think you have to create penetration, disrupt their point of contact. And so anytime your offensive line controls the line of scrimmage and gets a lot of push, those holes are easy to pick from. But if you're penetrating and you make the running back stop his feet, you just give yourself a better chance. And you make them play long down the distances, because usually, not all the time, but usually if you have a really good running team, they're not the best passing team.
This hypothetical team is also pretty good at passing.
Hypothetical team's also good at passing.
Yeah. But just like a dominant run game, and also your rush defense is very bad, like 30th in the league.
He's gonna lose.
Fuck.
It's hard to, because if I have a good run offense, but I also have a good pass defense, that creates immense amount of problems for a defense, because you have to protect the run, right? Or else you get carved up, and it demoralizes. The run game always demoralizes the team, right? Yeah. You get them on 3rd and 4, first down. You get them on 2nd and 7, first down. It's just like, God, there's nothing we can do, and it just demoralizes them. And it's because you're so focused on the run, you do one play action. You have to bring somebody else in the box. So now you're working with 3 deep. it's play action wide open. It just that's why you see those Shanahan offenses prosper year after year after year. You establish the line of scrimmage, you run the ball, and and their offense is all predicated off of play action, and it works year after year after year. But I assume you're talking about the Commanders, and they play the Eagles.
They play the Lions.
The Lions.
Yeah.
I don't see them winning this game, but like again, I think you have to fight. There's ways to, like, Drew Brees is great at this. There's ways to create a run game within the pass game. Those little dink and dunks, those little like check downs, getting to your third and fourth option, 3-4 yards, keep that clock running, keep that offense off the field. That's really good. But the problem with that is they have a really good defense. It's like, again, in order to beat a really good team, you have to have a little bit of luck, but you have to minimize your penalties. Have to minimize your penalties, and you have to convert on third downs. Key. Those are your keys to the game.
Yeah, we're pretty good on third down, really good on fourth down. I think it's keep the Lions offense off the field if you can. Go on long ass drives. Take care of the football.
And play ball. And play ball. Meaning if shit breaks down, you got to make plays. Special players make special plays in special games.
Yeah. I think it's also going to be a battle of who's the most Dan Quinn or Dan Campbell. Because they both, they go for it on a lot of fourth downs, super aggressive. You're going to need a little bit of luck. I'm cashing in all my luck this weekend.
All chips are in?
All the luck that we've had a lot of luck too. But whatever luck I have remaining, I'd like to cash in for this weekend.
It's been a nice little season for y'all, man. Hail Marys.
Yeah.
Exciting quarterback.
The last 5 games have come down to the last play from scrimmage for the Commanders.
They say that's a team that knows how to win games.
Yep. That's what we do.
Battle tested.
Battle tested.
Yeah.
The Cardiac Commanders.
You don't want to win every game easy.
No, we know how to win.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Lions know how to win? How many games have they won this year? Probably not that many. They've won a fuckload of games.
But you know what they didn't do? You know what they didn't do? They didn't win last week. They haven't won a playoff game yet.
That's true. The Bears almost beat them.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears should have beaten them in their house. No, I'm talking myself into it.
Haven't won a playoff game.
Haven't won a playoff game. Okay, we're here with Jeff D. Lowe. We're going to talk about the Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove, out in the redwoods of California, a little luxury retreat for the elites of society.
I got to be honest. I thought this was in the Bahamas.
Oh, the Bohemian Grove.
But I knew nothing about it.
That would be a cool place for it. If somebody wants to start a secret
what I thought
society
too.
there. Hank thought that the Poconos were in the Caribbean Sea.
Is there a reason for that?
He thought it was way down in Poconos.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. It makes sense. But yeah, the Bohemian Grove, it is a property that's owned by the Bohemian Club. So there's a Bohemian Club in San Francisco, and it started in 1872. And it was initially started by a bunch of people that were making good money from the gold rush, from being in a small, burgeoning, but prosperous city that wanted to have their own club where they would invite other interesting people, other elite members of society to hang out and just share what they've learned about the world, share ideas. And they wanted a mix of the super new money that was out there and artistic people who were artistically interesting. And so they called themselves the Bohemian Club because
fucking name.
I agree. I think it's pretty good. They wanted to name themselves the Bohemian Club because the Bohemian lifestyle implied like interesting, artsy, that whole thing. So
Bohemia itself means like the outcast of society, but like, like you said, like very artistic in nature and like renegades, that kind of vibe. Shameless plug. I named my last album Bohemia on all platforms. Check it out if you want to.
Download the content. Get those streaming numbers up.
Not that important, but if you like good music.
So they took their motto from A Midsummer Night's Dream, the play by William Shakespeare, old Billy Shakespeare. And the motto is, "Weaving spiders come not here." And what that means is they wanted a club for prominent business people, artists, but they wanted a place where it was like isolated from doing business deals, political deals, things like that. So weaving spiders come not here. It was like, keep your big business plans outside this. It's just a place to hang out and to be friends with people. So it was, from the outset, it was straight up like an elite club that there was a waiting list to get in. It was always like the high and mighty people in society, but they had a loose code saying, we're not going to do like secret deals behind the scenes here. But guess what? When you get a lot of very powerful people together, hanging out together all the time, they will be doing business deals and they will be doing a lot of plotting and things like that. They're like friends. Basically, it started out as a frat. You can think of it as a frat for super wealthy people out on the West Coast. Then they bought the Bohemian Grove. That was 2,700 acres. And they bought this as like a little summer retreat for their members. It was one of the perks of being in the club, was you had access to come to this 2-week-long party that was out in the middle of the redwoods, and it was just a place where guys could be dudes. No women allowed. Exclusively pissing outside. That's like one of the rules of Bohemian Grove. You just pee on trees all the time.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? So you can see.
There's a golf club in Houston called Lock and Bar. I got a couple of homies who are members there, and there is no women allowed. If you have a woman, you have to leave her at the front gate. And
wait, so you have to go there with your woman and then leave her.
Well, you don't have to go there with your woman. If you have a woman and you're there, they don't, like, she's not allowed in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no women allowed, and there's no bathrooms on the course. You just got to pee on a course. Same vibe.
That's the ultimate dudes rock course.
That is a way to describe it.
This actually sounds to me, the more I read about Bohemian Grove, it sounds a lot like Augusta National.
It does.
Right?
But they allow women now, kind of.
Condoleezza
What do you
Rice.
mean, kind of?
It's more symbolic. It's like, get off our ass. We put Condoleezza Rice in.
But aren't there more now?
I think there are now. And they do the women's like amateur there now.
Yeah. If you're a female CEO, if you're like the CEO of AT&T and you really want to get in, they could be like, yeah, sure. Okay. It'd probably be good to have you there. But yeah, this is Augusta, except without a golf course. I wonder if you're allowed to pee outside at Augusta. My guess
you'd
is
get arrested.
My guess is, I was going to say, like,
killed.
Drone strike.
Yeah.
So there's not. I just wanted to check this. There's not like an official number, but there's publicly known. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 known female members at Augusta.
Okay.
And they're all like Condoleezza Rice.
Yeah, former Browns head coach Condoleezza Rice.
Yep.
Annika Sorensen, like
legend of the game.
Yeah.
What a one of the 7.
Darla
Heidi
Moore.
Uberroth, co-chairman of the Pebble Beach Company and former NBA executive. Anna Bowden, executive chairman of Banco Standard, joined as the first European female member. Diana Murphy, former USGA president, became a member in 2018. So like former Virginia Rometty, former CEO of IBM. So you got to be like the cream of the crop, not just like a regular joint. You know what I mean?
To be fair, you have to be that as a man as well. There's just way more.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Content Kim's getting in next.
I heard that's
It's big addiction, yeah.
Bonnie Blue's on the waiting list.
I wonder if Trump's a member there.
That's actually a good. I don't think he
I don't
is.
think he is. I don't think he is.
I think you would know.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to.
Yeah, I don't think he
It's
is.
not a Trump course.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd want to be a member?
I could see him saying no,
Yes.
like my courses are better.
I think he very much.
I
would like
think
to be a
it's
member.
I think it's like a buying the Bills thing. Like they won't let him, and he wants to desperately.
Which that's definitely not politics. That's like a competitive thing for them.
Yeah. So this
Hootie Johnson.
Johnson, yeah.
God, I think he's dead.
I remember there would be like big protests outside Augusta for years.
Well, the problem was the woman who ran that, Martha Burke, was just like a grifter.
Yeah.
And like there was like it was more for attention. Like if there had been like a real movement behind it, it probably would have changed earlier. But she was just like kind of an ass.
Didn't they set up like a Hooters tent right across the street from where she was protesting one year?
Hooters is in Augusta, like right.
There is a
across from it.
Hooters
Yeah.
across the street.
That's
Yeah,
where John
but
Daly
It's where John
is.
Daly goes.
I feel like they did like a big like counter protest at the Hooters one year.
Who are we talking about?
It was like the movement to get women into Augusta.
Oh,
Yeah,
got
so
it.
Martha Burke would go there and she would try to raise awareness of how Augusta doesn't allow women. And then I think at one point they did a massive Hooters event counter protest right across the street from her protest.
What's the name of that street?
Magnolia.
Yeah.
No,
Magnolia
that's
Lane?
Magnolia Lane in the course, but the street that the course is on, that like the Hooters and shit is on, I forget the name.
Well, I
of
actually
it.
don't know that off the top of my
But
head.
it's like the main road in Augusta, and it's just like chain restaurants and then Augusta National.
Yeah, it is fascinating. I've only been able to go twice. It's as unbelievable as people say it is. It's so bizarre.
So with the Bohemian Club, what happened was at the start it was a bunch of lawyers, politicians, businessmen that had a lot of money, and then they had a mix of artists, writers, just people who were involved in the arts because they wanted to appreciate the arts. They wanted a place where prominent people could interact with, people who were more artistically driven in the community, and they ran into some problems with that because the very rich people wanted to be doing very rich things and wanted to have very expensive things in their club, and the artistically inclined people didn't have as much money as the super rich people. So the super rich people were like, this is bullshit. We're basically floating all these artists that are these poor artists that are coming in. Why should I have to pay so much? And these guys can't afford anything. That sucks. So they started with the idea of having people who had an appreciation for the arts. And there was one rich guy that said it was apparent that the possession of talent without money would not support the club. So they decided that the club should mostly focus on men who had money as well as brains. And thanks to this decision, the problem of our permanent success was solved. So rich artists and rich businessmen. That's kind of what it boiled down to. So at the start, it was never started by a group of like outcast artists and then rich people took it over. It was from the get-go mostly wealthy people who got sick of having poor people around them all the time, no matter how interesting they were. And so they said, okay, we'll limit it to people who appreciate the arts but also have a fuckload of money. So it exists out in the redwoods of California, and its members over the years, it's a pretty impressive group if we're just going by names. Looking at everybody who has been a member of the Bohemian Club, a lot of presidents. You've got Richard Nixon, you've got Ronald Reagan, Mark Twain, Dwight Eisenhower, Clint Eastwood, Jimmy Carter, Mickey Hart, R.I.P., Mickey Hart and Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead, Henry Kissinger, Donald Rumsfeld, Charles Schwab, Jack London, the author, George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush, Henry Ford, James Woods, Steve Miller. I wonder if that's the current Steve Miller or if it's from Steve Miller Band. The Joker, the Smoker, the Midnight Toker.
I feel like it's that.
I think it might be Herbert Hoover, William Randolph Hearst, Colin Powell, Walter Cronkite. Pretty impressive list of names that they have out there. So now in modern day, it has kind of taken on a different sort of vibe, different sort of meaning when somebody says that they're a member of the Bohemian Club and they go to Bohemian Grove. And it's more of like a secret society.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people's names I just said, they are like the Bushes, Skull and Bones, secret society, big time. I imagine there's probably a direct line between being in Skull and Bones and also being in the Bohemian Club. And to get into the Bohemian Club, it's like a 30-year wait list. I imagine unless you're president, they could probably fast track that a little bit. But it takes 30 years to get invited out to the Bohemian Club. And then their most famous thing that they do is the retreat out to the Bohemian Grove, which, as I said, it's like a 2-week vacation out in the woods for all these super rich, super powerful people to just go out. I hear that they get drunk like real early. Obviously, they get drunk. They're sipping nice alcohol. But I've heard that they do like a gin and tonic in bed every morning. It's the first thing. So you're drunk from sun up to sundown, and you're all pissing outside there. Arian, you wanted to do an episode on this. I'm curious to know what you know about the Bohemian Grove. Why are you interested in it?
It's like one of those ones that kind of just float around and always like gets brought up. And what it's like most conspiracies I find. Like I was excited to like dig up and like I want there to be something so that we can like actually like dig our teeth into and like, but it ends up just being a whole bunch of dorks getting together, like talking about whatever they got going on, right? And I think the exclusivity of it causes the um I don't know, it's interest. And I think anytime there's exclusivity, it always drums up the demand to want to know what's going on. But I originally watched the documentary that Alex Jones did.
Yeah,
Um
he broke
did
in.
you yeah, did you watch it?
I've seen parts of it. I didn't watch the full documentary that Alex did, but yeah, he was the first person to break into it and get video of their opening night ritual, which is called the Cremation of Care.
Yeah, the cremation. That's basically his smoking gun, and it's where they burn this big ass owl. Um, and there's robes and all kinds of weird chants, and he kind of correlates that to his often said claim, which you probably know more about being an Alex Jones stan.
Mhm.
Um, he correlates this to like the New World Order.
Yeah,
Like, and this is like the evidence of the cult and satanic worship amongst the elite of our society. And I guess he interprets the burning of care is what they call it. Like it's basically like they allegedly say it's like, you know, you burn all your cares away or something like that. And like casting off empathy and moral responsibility and implying a sinister mindset. That's basically his, I guess, summation of it. He then goes on to like, you know, just kind of talk about how many people of influence are involved in it, and that always drums up the conspiracies around it. The more influential people around it, the more sinister it gets, especially like with world leaders, because you can always tie them to evil acts across the world. And this could be like the catalyst or the roots of it, that they meet in these secret places, do these rituals, and then come up with their diabolical schemes to, I don't know, take over the world, which has some plausibility to it. Honestly, like if you were to have like a global elite, let's say, I don't know, I'm a big time politician. I have, you know, an arms dealer, the owner of an arms dealer, Lockheed Martin. He's also in this camp. We meet at this secret location, and he's like, "Hey, you do a business deal under the table there." That makes some sense. But most of this, there's not really a lot of concrete evidence for any kind of like, you know, devious occult rituals as far as like blood sacrifices. I know he does allege in this video that there is a burning body on there, which, you know, he took this camera video with like a toaster. It's very grainy. It's very hard to see. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, most of his claims are kind of just, you know, New World Order, you know, the whole dehumanization of things. Like anytime a cult gets a hold of people, they always try to, demasculate people. So there's like homosexuality, you know, where they like rape people, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And so,
They do a lot of
but
plays, and in like the plays and it's like summer camp. It's like, okay, you have to do a skit, George W. Bush, and they'll do a skit, and all the female parts have to be played by men because there are no females there. So you got like these very super rich, powerful people that are dressed up in drag, sometimes doing these plays, and then Alex Jones will say like that's like a humiliation ritual, and yeah, what he did break in there in 2000 with an author. And this guy was a journalist, and so they went out there. They witnessed the opening ceremony, which is, they burn the giant ass owl. There's dudes coming out in like priest outfits. They burn a body. It's not a real body. It's a body in effigy at the start of it. And Alex thought that it was a real person.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he thought it was a real person, and he was like trembling when he got back. He's like, "Oh my God, I just saw
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable stuff. I just saw Satan in the flesh. I can't wait to get this out. They're going to kill me." And then the author,
which to his credit, though, I'm not in the business of giving Alex Jones credit, but to his credit, if I'm breaking into a secret society, which I think is doing devious shit, and I see a body-esque looking thing getting burnt around a big ass owl with robes, I would probably think something kind of crazy too. No, to his credit.
Yeah. So the author and researcher John Ronson, who was there with him at the time, was like, "Alex, you got to calm down. It's not a real body. Like, it's very obviously not a real body."
But it's not normal to be burning fake bodies chanting around a giant effigy either.
No, it's not. I think that they're like catering to the rich and powerful people who have this mindset of themselves as being like bigger than the world. And so they did this big theatrical thing where they say this owl symbolizes care and symbolizes all the stresses that are on you in your day-to-day life as a big shot. And so we're going to burn it, symbolizing that for the next 2 weeks, we're going to just leave all that stuff back at home so that you guys can relax and do what you want out in the woods. So
relatively, I would say that you're probably incorrect, BT. Like now, that's not normal for sure. But I think throughout, if you widen the scope throughout the entirety of human history, blood sacrifices were more normal than they are not normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
a long ass time ago, they're still doing it.
What I'm saying, I think a lot of these clubs always draw back to shit like that. Like, we got to get back to, you know what I mean? That type shit. But I don't think they're actually burning real bodies. I'm sure.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, but I'm just
probably.
Saying, I think the burning of, like, I remember when I went to my first therapist. She had me write down all my worries and troubles, and she had me burn it on a piece of paper to let go of all that. I thought she was crazy, but it's like the symbology of letting it go. Like, you know,
that'd be great if that's how therapy actually worked. You just go into a room, write your shit down, light it on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That was a productive visit. So at the center of this Bohemian Grove, this resort that they have.
Real quick. Did you ever figure out? How do they correlate owl to care? I didn't ever see anything about that. Like, why is the owl the symbol?
Their symbol originally? I don't know.
Yeah, like Drake.
People are asking OVO, Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Bohemian Grovio.
Yeah. I bet you Drake's been here. Kid Rock went there.
Wouldn't shock me.
Kid Rock I feel like Kid Rock wouldn't fit in there.
Oh, so fun story about Kid Rock. He talked about this on the Joe Rogan show. Great story that Kid Rock has. So they start talking about the Bohemian Grove, and of course Joe's more interested in like the occult stuff. What are the rich and powerful people doing out there behind the scenes? Like, we need to figure out what's going on at the Bohemian Grove because it's where the ultra elite get together to make these deals behind our backs. And Kid Rock's like, "Yeah, man, I got invited out there one time. It was weird. It was weird stuff. So, you just like stay drunk. They just keep giving you beers, and it was pretty cool. And I got into a fight there when I was at Bohemian Grove. I knocked a guy out." And Joe's like, "Wait, what? What's going on?" He's like, "Yeah, it was an infiltrator. He shouldn't have been there. And I was there as a guest. We're around the bonfire, and this guy starts popping off at the mouth. And I just got up, gave him a couple punches, picked him up, and said, 'Hey, man, we cool?' And then I had to go to timeout. They put Kid Rock in Bohemian Grove jail for like a day to calm down because he knocked out an intruder. And in Joe Rogan's mind, he's like, "Wait, no, the intruder's the good guy in this conversation." Like, he's trying to figure out what's going on there. Kid Rock's like, "Yeah, I took this guy out because he was trying to learn all the secrets of the Bohemian Grove." Kid Rock had no attachment to the Bohemian Grove whatsoever, but he immediately became like a guardian of the Grove.
When you invite Kid Rock there, you got to know he's going to pull some shit.
He's going to pop off.
Yeah.
For sure. That's what you expect. I wonder who invited Kid Rock.
Jimmy Carter.
W.
Great friends, Jimmy Carter and Kid Rock. Big Bob with the Ba guy.
Probably a CEO of like a I'd assume some sort of entertainment company, maybe.
Yeah. I feel like Kid Rock would be, you know what you're getting into when you invite Kid Rock to a place like that. So yeah, he got arrested by.
Kid Rock going makes me feel like it's maybe less sinister, but I still have my suspicions.
I think you could take Kid Rock if you put him in an environment like that. I mean, he was sharing a room, I think, with the guy from Jimmy John's, the CEO of Jimmy John's.
Oh, nice.
So I think
Jimmy John.
Yeah, Jimmy John. I think they were roommates.
Friends with Glenny Balls.
That's
Wait,
true.
is that his name?
Yeah, he's friends with Glenny Balls.
Mm-hmm.
His actual last name is John?
Yeah,
He's Jimmy John.
Jimmy John.
Love that.
So they bring
I enjoy
back,
that establishment more now that I know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good sub, and they're fast. Their pickles are great too. So they bring Kid Rock out there, and Kid Rock is like, yeah, there's some weird shit going on out here. I can't wait to see. Like, I'm now in a society with like the rich and powerful. And he said that at the opening ceremony, they bring out like speakers, and there's some speakers who are going to be talking about like intergalactic travel and the future of like the human race and shit. The first speaker they had out there was Tony Danza. So Tony Danza comes out.
That makes me feel even more like it's not so sinister.
Yeah.
Can someone tell me the only thing I've ever seen Tony Danza in was the movie where he's a trash guy who becomes the kicker for the
The
Eagles?
garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
a great film.
I think BFT has it on. You have it on VHS for Part of My Take, right?
Yeah, so yeah, it's a great story. He's a garbage man, and he's really good at kicking the latch on the garbage truck that makes the garbage get into the truck faster. And so then the Eagles need a kicker. He's like, wait, I'm really good at kicking this truck.
I remember this.
Yeah,
But
this
but
is a perfect job for me.
but I said that to say that I hear the name Tony Danza like he's very famous, but I've never heard of
He
him.
was
was.
in one of the best movies of all time, bro.
What's that?
Angels in the Outfield.
That's right. Please tell me you've seen Angels in the Outfield.
So I have. I'm trying to place Tony Danza in it.
Who is he in that movie? Fuck, it escapes me, but I know he's in that movie.
He's not the shitty dad.
He
No.
is Mel Clark. He is the manager, I believe. Or no.
I forget who he's at. I just remember seeing his face in the movie. I haven't seen this for years, but I know he's in the movie.
Or wait, he's a pitcher. I think.
So he's a ball player in the movie.
Mel Clark is a pitcher for the California Angels and Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah. I knew he was in the movie. I just couldn't remember where.
You know who else was in this movie that I did not recall? Fucking McConaughey.
Really?
He's haunting you, dog.
Yeah,
forgot
he
about
is. Jeff, you'll appreciate this. You've seen the McConaughey Salesforce commercial
Yes.
where he sits down at a restaurant in the pouring rain, gets served food just randomly because restaurants just give it to you without ordering. And you've seen this stupid commercial. It's the current thing that is ruining my life.
Yeah, he's also in that Uber Eats commercial I don't like.
Oh,
Chris McCaffrey.
Jerry ordered rice.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's. I do like, as we Austinites call him, Matthew though. Great guy.
Right.
Minister of Culture.
Yep. Yep.
You from Austin?
Yeah.
And
Probably we haven't talked about that. Yeah, I went to high school in Texas.
We'll get back to Bohemian Grove talk in a second. This episode is brought to you by Steven Singer Jewelers. I've got one of their luscious, beautiful, pristine 24-karat dipped gold roses right in front of me on this desk right here. This thing is a perfect Valentine's Day gift, and it's fantastic. Love Steven Singer Jewelers. If you're looking for a Valentine's Day present, this gold dipped rose is a great one. And if you've heard about Steven Singer, you've probably heard I hate Steven Singer. You've seen the billboards that say I hate Steven Singer. You've heard people on the radio say I hate Steven Singer. But who is this that hates him? It's the other jewelers. Why? Because Steven has the number one gift for Valentine's Day. I'm excited to tell you about it. Picture it. It's a real long stem American beauty rose preserved to last a lifetime and lavishly dipped in pure 24-karat gold. The 24-karat gold dipped roses start at just $59. This beautiful Valentine's Day red rose won't wilt, it won't die, and it's the perfect pick for your first rose. The gift is unique, it's sentimental, it lasts a lifetime guaranteed. Add your own personalized love message in Steven's signature gift box and ship for free. If you're a collector, check out Steven's brand new exclusive peacock teal rose. Go to IHateStevenSinger.com for real roses dipped and trimmed in real gold from a jeweler that you can trust. Steven Singer Jewelers, that's IHateStevenSinger.com. Cool. So when it comes to like the sinister shit about Bohemian Grove, yeah, there's some we can laugh at it and be like, oh yeah, it's like a conspiracy that they get together and they plan like satanic shit and world affairs behind our backs. But in reality, it's like a frat. There has been some like crazy shit that's happened, like some stuff that would lend itself to the part of the conspiracy of this is where rich people get together to make secret deals that will fuck over the world. Maybe not like the satanic shit, but the stuff where it's like this. It should be looked at. It may be where they developed the atomic bomb, which is a pretty big deal in world history. So it was 3 years before we bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Oppenheimer was out there. He had a secret meeting at the Bohemian Grove. And at the start, it was right before the Manhattan Project started. And they didn't include that in the movie Oppenheimer, so you wouldn't know it.
As a like 8-time watcher, correct?
Yeah, but that would be, I would say, if it's a secret location where powerful people get together to develop a weapon that will be so strong that it can destroy the Earth, that's a pretty big conspiracy, I would say, right?
I mean, it seems implausible to me that all these massively powerful people get together and don't discuss things.
I mean, planning the bomb is pretty. I mean, that's like
they had to do it somewhere.
Yeah, but that also feels like work.
Yeah, that
business
seems like a weaving spider.
Yeah, but that's bullshit.
In.
That was in the 1800s. They don't adhere to that.
It's still their motto.
I'm sure it is.
But I'm sure it's just a den of weaving spiders. That's all it is out there.
Yeah, you're not supposed to really talk. Yeah,
but I'm sure they do. I'm sure that's like 90% of what it is.
What else do all those people have to talk about?
Yeah,
those people aren't interesting.
That's a good point. They get out there, they're like, okay, we're going to leave all the work stuff behind us, and then they sit down, and you're the CEO of like a giant telecom. You're CEO of Comcast. You're like, what do you guys think about streaming?
Right.
Like, what else are you going to talk about?
100%.
That is your entire life. If you're in a position like I imagine George W. Bush would probably be a fun guy to
He'd be a
out
fun
with.
hang.
Fun hang. Just take a piss next to George W. Bush. Probably here's how it would go. You would go up to a tree. George W. Bush is at the tree next to you. You've never met each other. He starts peeing, and then he looks over at you, and you look over at him, and then he maintains eye contact and just rips a huge fart and starts laughing. And
For
you're
sure.
Like, all right, this is my buddy.
He'd finish up, come over, give you one of those Obama stomach taps.
Yeah. Like, nice work, big boy. So, yeah.
The funny part, Richard Nixon, and I quote, says the funniest thing about it. He says, Nixon described the Grove as the most faggy goddamn thing you could ever imagine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he was talking about San Francisco and just how much he hates it because it's a place of degenerates and homosexuals. And that quote, I had always heard that quote of being not the. I'm going to look it up right now here in this.
I think he was talking about the Grove.
Yeah. So he says it is the most faggy goddamn thing you could ever imagine. I've always heard that quoted. It is the most faggiest goddamn thing you could ever imagine. Which I guess they're both funny in their own way to imagine Richard Nixon saying. He says, I don't want to shake hands with anybody from San Francisco decorators. They've got to do something, but God damn it, we don't have to glorify it. Homosexuality, dope, immorality generally, these are the enemies of strong societies. But he did launch his campaign at the Bohemian Grove in 1968. He gave a presentation on foreign policy to the audience. And again, seems like a weaving spider issue because one of the mottos of the club is like, we're not going to talk about public policy or politics here. Talking about the future of United States foreign policy seems like it would violate that. But yeah, they don't give a fuck about it.
So to your point, though, there was a dude named Ernest O. Lawrence. He was a quote unquote key figure in the Manhattan Project, and he was a member of the Bohemian Club, and he attended a lot of the events. And although like there's no direct evidence that he lobbied for funding and stuff, but that's what the allegation alleges is in the formation of the project. This was one of the factors that could have helped fund
Mhm.
So if you're in one of these clubs and you have a whole bunch of like heavy hitters, why wouldn't you network? That's basically what a fraternity is. If you are in any kind of frat or sorority, it's basically a big club that says, "Hey, if you ever need a favor, we kind of this is what we do."
Yeah. Yeah, I think that like the opening ceremony is like with the druids and the occult imagery and shit. It definitely lends itself to being like, is this satanic? What's going on here? But it's like a ritual from the 1870s that is involved in like it's like an elaborate act of burning shit in effigy to like start the process of having a 2-week retreat where you're trying to get rich people to just put their entire like real lives aside and just hang out. But all that's gotten way lost over the years. So it is like a bunch of rich people getting together, planning
Have you heard
how they're going to
that?
manipulate the world.
Yeah. No, I agree. Have you heard that? Because I'm not in any kind of frat, right? But I got a bunch of brothers that is. But like they really tight-lipped about it. No, none of the homies ever like, no, I can't tell you, dog. I'm always like, come on, man, what y'all be doing? I was like, no, I can't tell you that. They're super tight-lipped about this shit. Nobody ever. I know some cats that's Freemasons. I know some cats that are in like some of these frats, mainly black frats. I don't know anybody in white frats. But what I've gathered is like it's basically like let's say you in a frat, they have like coded handshakes, which is very Masonic. They have coded language. So like if you're say you have a job and I'm going to go get a job, right? And I find out you're of my same fraternity, I'll say something to let you know that I'm a part of that fraternity. You'll say something back to let me know like what rank and what level you are, and we're having a secret conversation. And because of that brotherhood, you're supposed to then like help me get a job or help me, say help me somehow. Have you heard that? That's what I've surmised over the years. Like it's just a big ass like you scratch my back, like we scratch each other's back in this underground way, this black market way.
It's a big network.
Yeah.
So you have, and I mean a lot of frats. I don't know. I was not in a frat, but some of my friends were not as tight-lipped about their frat as.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some like rituals that they do. Talk about Greek life. There's some like Greek influence in some of it. But really what it ends up being is just a bunch of dudes that hang out, bitch about schoolwork, get hammered, go to football games together, and have parties. And then also have like these little, it is probably more prominent in sororities, but they just a lot of drama about other people in the sorority that you don't like. And then
you heard of the elephant walk?
I have heard of the elephant walk. That's a rugby thing too. Yeah.
Is it really? What the fuck?
I never participated in the elephant walk. I did like some initiation stuff for it, but that's just mostly like, okay, Rook, you're on the team now.
I'm unfamiliar with this. Why don't you elaborate
the
on
elephant,
the thing that you didn't do?
Yeah, no, I swear to God, I did not do the elephant walk. But the elephant walk, Mark Cuban participated in the elephant walk when he played rugby in college. You just get naked and you walk into a room blindfolded in like a straight line, and you walk through the room.
I heard that was not. That's not what I heard the elephant walk was.
What did you hear?
I heard the elephant was they blindfold you and you line up in a single file line.
Yes, that's how I know it.
You grab the dude in front of you, wee, and the dude behind you grabs yours, and y'all have to walk in a straight line.
Oh, chain of grabbing
holding.
each other's dicks.
Yeah.
Okay. I had heard different elephant walks.
I think yours is
he's
the
like,
walk.
okay, that I've done.
I don't know if it's true. That's a rumor. I don't know if that's actually happened.
Yeah, but there's
maybe that's a Texas thing. That's just what I heard. I heard that growing up in high school. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's like
I heard it in college because we used to make fun of dudes who was pledging. We was like, yo, y'all get paddled on the ass and shit, like, and they have paddles. And so like that, I heard it was a whole bunch of like gay stuff. That's what I heard. And like to the point of like the Bohemian Grove, a lot of that stuff is like emasculating to kind of like keep the secrecy or whatever the case would be. Could all be fabrication. I don't know. But those were the rumors surrounding a lot of the frats when I was going to college. I don't know what's going on now.
Skull and Bones is the same way. So in Skull and Bones, what isn't one of the initiations like you have to jack off in a coffin?
I don't know.
I
know it's
Is the coffin being used? Like it's somebody's in there?
No. It's they have like a coffin, and then everybody has to take turns getting into it and jacking off.
the fuck? Who be thinking of this weird ass shit, though?
I don't know, but it is. I think it does go to like, okay, we know a big secret about you now,
Yeah.
so let's be cool. We've all done the same thing. We're brothers. We all jacked off in a coffin.
Brothers in baby arms.
Yeah.
I mean, Arian, was the UT butt chugging incident? Was that while you were in college?
oh yeah.
I
think that was
It may have been a
later.
little after.
I want to say that was
I
like
was
mid
not.
2010s.
It wasn't.
I have not heard of the butt chuck. What is it? You putting me on right now? What is it?
So there was a Tennessee fraternity that I think got like banned from campus because a bunch of the kids were making the pledges participate in butt chugging, which is precisely what it sounds like.
You gotta drink liquids out of somebody's booty.
No.
No, you pour
Okay.
them into yours.
You pour liquid into your booty.
Like,
A funnel.
and then there was an infamous press conference where the kids had a lawyer who got up there and was like, they were not involved in the butt chugging. It's a very funny press conference, but that may have been like a little bit after you left. But
Yeah, this was not my era, dog.
yeah, it was a whole thing.
So when Alex Jones went out there in 2000, got the footage, which credit to Alex Jones, good job infiltrating the Bohemian Club, because it was a very hard place to get into. A lot of times you'd have Secret Service that was there trying to keep people out. And he got in, got some footage of it for the very first time as an outsider. He was there with that other journalist. When they got back, the journalist, like I said, he let Alex know that it's not a real body that they burned, Alex. It's okay. It's some weird shit. And then Alex put his own spin on it. And there was an Alex Jones fan that tried to break into the Grove. He actually did break into the Grove, but his plan was to break in there and kill everybody because he thought there was like human sacrifice and all this shit. The guy that broke in was a guy named Richard McCaslin. Richard McCaslin called himself the Phantom Patriot back in 2000. He was a self-styled superhero. And by the way, I'm fascinated by these guys. They're like citizen superheroes, the guys that like dress up, make their own outfit, and go around town fighting crime. There was one guy in Seattle that did it for a while. But yeah, they have their own outfits and shit. They usually have swords or some sort of like restraining device, and they go and they try to stop crime as it's happening. And this guy, the Phantom Patriot, he got a bunch of guns. He got katana blades. He got, I want to say, nunchucks, maybe some sais, like Raphael had from the Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
And so he broke in and he started walking around looking for crime to fight or people to kill. Didn't really see much. And then he proceeded to get tired, so he went into one of the bunks and took a nap while he was in there. Then he got up. He's like, well, I'm not really killing anybody or finding anything bad going on, so I'm just going to start a fire. So he started a fire. The sprinkler system put it out immediately. He got arrested. He had the skull mask on. That was his outfit of choice that he wore. And the author that broke in with Alex told Alex, what you're saying about Bohemian Grove isn't true. You know that. You know you're playing with fire here. And Alex said, yeah, I'm not going to tell my listeners that. And so you could draw a line between that and then the guy that
He
broke in.
lied?
Alex Jones lied.
What the fuck?
Allegedly. That'd be very funny if like George H.W. Bush filed a lawsuit against Alex Jones, like the Sandy Hook parents. He's like, you've also wronged me, Alex. I demand restitution.
Made fun of our club.
Yeah, he made fun of our kind of gay club that we're in. But we only do gay stuff just so that nobody talks about the club.
Is the easiest secret thing to fake, is that being a Freemason? I feel like everyone knows that one guy who's got like a coin. He's like, yeah, my grandfather's a Freemason. It's like,
Well, I mean, the buildings you can just see. There's one near my parents' house.
yeah, I'm just saying, I feel like, but that's I think the easiest one to just like.
No, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Like, they're all over. You can just say, yeah, I go there. And then they say, oh, really? Like, what do? You say,
Yeah.
yeah, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
Right. It's like,
You just
okay.
buy the thing to stick on
Yeah.
the back of your car.
It's like, all right.
Actually, it is a very easy thing. We had a guy that faked being a Freemason on this show one time.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yep.
He was
Yeah.
on Billy's list. Billy was like, I got a Freemason for
Yeah.
us.
And it was definitely fake.
Yeah.
Oh, the fakest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah. So Gerald Ford also said that when he was there, there was one employee of the Grove. By the way, the employees are all dudes too.
That's the weirdest part. The employees thing is the strangest thing. Just
Yeah.
Because like that exists, like Like there's a very exclusive golf club in New Jersey called Pine Valley, and I know someone whose family works there, and they're not supposed to tell anyone they work there.
Is that the hardest golf course in the world?
It's like the top rated golf course in the world. Always is every year.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's unbelievable. And they only very recently have they put out like a lot of pictures out there. But if you work there, you like aren't supposed to tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just bizarre to me. Like you like I get the secret life of like being a member there, but the secret life of serving those people is like crazy. I mean, you make money. It's not like you're like a slave. They don't make it like, but it's crazy though.
Imagine you probably get pretty good tips though.
Oh, I would assume so.
Right, and just if you want to be around the powerful.
Yeah.
And you're like, you'll never guess what I just heard Gerald Ford say to Jimmy Carter the other day. They probably don't allow women to be staff there because they're trying to like insulate themselves from lawsuits. You get a bunch of rich, old, horny, creepy guys
everywhere.
I mean, if you've been on a golf course and you've seen how certain people act when like the cart girl shows up. Oh yeah, she wanted me.
Sweetie. No, you're like really beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, really.
That gets weird. That gets weird sometimes.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, wow. Pour me one of those beers. Oh, that's too much head. That's the first time I've ever said that. That's usually not a bad thing. All right,
I think
maybe
golf course is maybe the most like dad joke, fake laugh environment to ever exist. There's
all up, no hole, like my prom night.
a whole bunch of isms, and it's just bad.
Maybe I'm too poor and I'm playing poor golf courses. I've never had a cart girl ever.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think they're common at most courses.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
I've never seen
mean,
one.
How many times have you golfed? Like at a golf course?
25?
They probably know that you're
Never
not a
had
drinker.
a cart?
Never. I hear about them all the time. I see TikTok video. Never seen one.
This would be a great lie to tell Big T that there's
a lot of
cart girls.
high-end golf courses don't have cart girls. They'll just have stations. Like
Yep.
they'll have different stations where you can go get snacks and drinks and stuff like. So maybe you're not poor enough, Big T.
Interesting.
Yeah, good
Interesting.
point. Yeah, like
I don't know.
They'll have two every side, and okay, you can stop by the hut.
So I've had that.
Yeah, get a sandwich. Maybe a hot
interesting.
dog. This episode's also brought to you by our great friends over at DraftKings. NFL playoffs. We're talking about NFL playoffs. You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. I'm curious to know when we do that voice for the playoffs, what's the age cutoff for people that understand the reference?
They still play it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was, before I was born, probably.
Jim Mora, I want to say maybe 2000-ish.
Oh, it was that late?
99?
Okay, so but
I
I
don't
was a baby, but like they still play that all the time. So I think if you're a sports fan,
you should know.
You still know.
Yeah, and there were some commercials that had that in there. I want to see a breakdown of the best Jim Mora voices here at Barstool when we're doing these ad reads. I think mine's pretty good. And if you're looking to bet on the NFL playoffs, DraftKings is the way to go. The key to you scoring big is betting on them at DraftKings, the number one place to bet touchdowns. And if you want to place your first bet, try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Here's another reason to watch your favorite players crush it in the playoffs. New customers bet $5. You get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big in the NFL playoffs. DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code MACRO. That's code MACRO. New customers get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. And now, here's more Bohemian Grove with Jeff D. Lowe. So yeah, Gerald Ford, when he was there, he was very upset because one of the male employees used to drive around in a Jeep that had a swastika on it. And he was like, hey man, I'm the president of the United States. Can we not do the swastika Jeep here? Kind of weird that it took like the president saying that, where they're like, oh, good point. Hadn't thought about that. Jeff, you said that you had opinion about the Bohemian Grove.
Not even opinion. It is a very, very prominent episode of a show that I watch once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Underwood goes there.
So I have not seen House of Cards, but in looking up stuff about the Bohemian Grove, I saw that clip.
It's called something different. I forget what it is.
It's like very similar to
They have the
Grove.
fucking owl. They
Yeah.
burn the owl. Yeah, it's all that, and a big part of it is it's right around. Again, this show is from the great mind of David Fincher. I mean, one of the best filmmakers of all time. He tailed off, I believe, towards like the halfway point. The show became shit, and then the last season's just dreadful. But I do rewatch it because to me it's great, but it's also when it gets bad, it gets funny. And so I like just kind of having it on the background. And this episode is towards the end of the show when there's an election and he's going up against this guy, Will Conway. And then there's like this old donor, like he's a big billionaire, Raymond Tusk.
Yeah.
But he gets yelled at. They're like,
It's a great
Frank,
name.
we can't talk about business here, Frank. And
Yeah.
he's trying to get, I think, secrets from like their version of Google. It's called like Polyhop.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but he just get Frank, no business. The whole thing. It's like you just can't do business.
Mm-hmm.
But they do. They piss everywhere in that scene, and it's very, at least similar to what the public knows about it.
Yeah.
And that's like really been my only real exposure to it. And then when I first saw it, I was like, well, this seems fairly real. And I was like, oh, this is like a complete. And then I did apparently Billions has an episode.
Yes,
with
they
a
do.
similar thing, which I didn't know.
Yes, they do. In House of Cards, it's called Elysian Fields.
Yeah, okay.
Which is
Yep,
that's a good
sounds
name for it.
Mhm.
Like these words are all like kind of old world Greeky-ish.
It opens
And-
up with the burning, and they all have their robes on, and you can't see their faces. You're like, oh, what is this? And then he takes the robe off. And he's like, you know what my grandfather said. You got sand in one hand, shit in another. It's like some horse shit fucking phrase.
Yeah, and Frank Underwood's he's like super pissed off that he can't discuss business. He's like, that's the only goddamn reason I'm here.
Why am I even here? If
Why
I
am I-
can't. I can't get ahead in the election. Yeah,
You watch that show every year?
It became a bit. It was an LCB bit. Cause we love we used to say character names all the time. They have these ridiculous characters. Kathy Durant. It's just like they had just. So it's very good in the beginning. Like David Fincher, he's made some of the best movies ever. Social Network.
See, I tried
Seven,
watching it
Fight
the
Club.
first couple episodes. I just didn't like it.
I like politics shows. I mean, West Wing's my favorite show of all time. So
I keep saying I'm going to watch West Wing, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But at some point, I'm going to watch West Wing, and I feel like I'll like it.
the left wing, as they call it, but they also they make both sides fairly nice. So you won't be.
Yeah, it's all about
You
like
won't-
the
you won't-
spirit of
yeah.
compromise.
It is, yeah.
on the West Wing.
It's just nothing goes right.
Yeah.
Almost ever.
I have a teed off that
Okay.
you'll appreciate. You've seen the show Veep.
Oh yeah.
Incredible show.
Mhm.
I remember the whole time that the show was running, they were like, we take great pride in the fact that we never say if she's a Republican or Democrat and that you can't tell. There's an episode later in the show where it's the presidential election and it just plain as first of all, she's running against like a very it's the guy who played Buddy Garrity, and like he's the most Republican dude you've ever seen in your life. But then it shows her states in blue on the thing.
Yeah. Which,
That made me mad.
For them to even pretend, it's like, all right, it's like, what? Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's okay.
But they made a big deal
Yeah,
of
no.
saying that
early on, I guess you can't tell.
Yeah, probably.
And at some point, they're probably like, what are we doing? Like, just
Yeah.
fucking, even though, yeah, it's like, just play it out.
Great show though.
Yes, never had a bad season, never had a bad episode. Always funny.
It is
Agreed.
crazy. Yeah.
Funniest, the two hardest things I've ever laughed at on TV. One, Arrested Development, when Tobias is dressed up in like the Mrs. Doubtfire outfit, Mrs. Featherbottom. He jumps off the balcony and like shatters a glass table. But the hardest I've ever laughed watching TV, Timothy Simons plays Jonah Ryan.
I
And
was gonna guess. Is it
He's running and he's
in an elementary school?
He's in an elementary school, and it says we caught up with Jonah Ryan, and he's on the phone. He says, "I'm eating so much pussy, I'm shitting clips." It's the hardest I've ever laughed.
We're at an elementary school, you animal.
That was an ad lib. We talked to him about it. He's like, they were just trying to fire off the most heinous things possible.
That's
Yeah.
unreal. One thing I'll give credit to House of Cards for, they did a very good job of naming their fake technology. So if you watch Law and Order, which I always love it when they have like their clones of like a real website on Law and Order and the names that they use for them, because they're always terrible. They're always like,
Yeah.
okay, come up with this name for what Google would be in 5 seconds. It'd be like searcher.com. In House of Cards, they had Polyhop, which I liked. That's a good name for it. And then they also had Slugline.
Yes,
as
Slugline.
as the name of a fake political blog.
That which in that era of like where the blog was becoming more serious of like for news, like when even before like BuzzFeed News, like Slugline's perfect.
Yeah, Slugline is a great name for it. Also,
and that show's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Everyone gets assassinated in like the final 5 minutes of that show. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
Jeff, I have a bone to pick with David Fincher.
I have bones to pick with David Fincher as well.
I saw Seven. I watched it in IMAX on the re-release because it's been 30 years, 30-year anniversary. Great film.
Yeah,
awesome film. My bone to pick with it is when the serial killer is going around killing all these people under the name of eliminating the 7 deadly sins from the world, or to punish people who are committing the 7 deadly sins. It starts out the glutton. I understand that. That kind of makes sense with the whole theme of it. The greed, that makes sense when he kills the lawyer who's being greedy and he's defending the biggest monsters in the world and making a considerable amount of money off it. And then when he kills the guy using sloth, he ties that guy to a bed for a year and he dies via sloth. But the guy that he killed wasn't sloth. He was a bad guy, very bad guy, drug dealer, pedophile, you name it, worst possible guy. He only killed him using sloth. He wasn't a lazy man. What happened there?
That's a fair take. Like he kind of maybe got lazy. He's like, this much.
Yeah, he was the sloth in that one.
He can be a bad guy at this point. I don't even care.
And then when they killed the prostitute.
I got a reason for you.
Okay.
Because sloth is one of the lesser known sins.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a jargon term, I guess. So sloth is a deadly sin in the Judeo-Christian tradition that refers to a lack of concern for others and oneself.
Oh.
So maybe
okay, that makes sense.
That.
Okay.
Yeah, it's often described as laziness, but it can manifest as busyness or distraction. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. The other qualm is that the lady that he kills a prostitute for lust. You remember that scene?
Mm-hmm.
How could you forget? He should have killed the dudes. She was just at work. She wasn't boning all these dudes because she was addicted to dick. She wasn't. That was her job. It was the guys that were all like cheating on their significant others, going to this prostitute. They were the lustful ones. Why did she get killed with the razor dildo? Should have been the guys.
That's your bone to pick with him.
Yeah, very minor bone.
Yeah, it's fair.
Okay, just want to get that off my chest. Great film. One of the best films ever, I'd say.
Very good. Where do I have it with? I just got the Steelbook the other day. Probably watch this weekend. It's up there with. I mean, his catalog is insane. Though it's tailed off because he's worked at Netflix, and I think he's just kind of not focused on the movie's looking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to theaters, but yeah. Collaborator with Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, the 9 Inch Nails.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Great score. Scored
he
challengers this year.
He does a great job writing like haunting music.
Oh yeah. Great use of color too in movies. One of the few directors who uses the color green.
Is that true?
Are people averse to green?
Mm-hmm.
Why
no
is
other
that?
directors use the
I'll
color
send you a video.
green?
It's very fascinating.
That's not true.
I'll send you the video. It's a very fascinating breakdown of the use of color in movies.
Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg, has a lot of green in it.
It has to do with lighting, and I'll show it to you. It's a very good video.
One of the most popular movies of this year is in a city completely that's green.
Yeah, but you're thinking like literally like the buildings and the like. I'm talking about the lighting and the way. I'll show it to you. It's very interesting. You watch enough movies, you'd be interested by it.
Okay.
Did you like Wicked?
Haven't seen it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Fire fucking movie.
I keep hearing that.
Fantastic.
Fire fucking movie.
And I thought it was.
I've heard all the songs.
I thought it was the biggest piece of shit ever. I was like, this is gonna stink, and it.
Yeah. You know how good a movie has to be in order for you to go in thinking it's gonna be bad and come out like that was good? That has to be a really good movie, though.
The pipes on her, especially the end of that movie. Oh my god.
Ben Shapiro loved it.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Ben Shapiro liked it.
He
Oh,
loved
dude,
it.
you should go watch Ben Shapiro's review of Wicked. It's so funny.
He'll
That's
sit there
interesting.
and he'll like rip apart something else. Then his movie reviews will be like Wicked, incredible. it's so. But he's a big musical theater guy too. That's why.
Yeah, he has a very nuanced critique of Wicked, like from a obviously educated background in musical theater.
Yeah.
It's good. He does a great review.
He actually is very good. He'll sometimes bring up like some political, but he's like a pretty like he kind of like checks it at the door when he goes and sees movies. It's kind of
I love that.
It's kind of
Really?
fascinating. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because like the theme of this movie, it's oriented in a political route,
right?
like
But
prejudice.
Yeah, no, he doesn't really talk. He loves the Broadway show. His critiques were he thought that like Defying Gravity at the end, he was like when she does the final part of that song, it should have just went to black. He's like, he goes, this part's that's where it should stop, and he like goes on about it. It's like it's his movie reviews are actually pretty good because again, you would think it's like, all right, some like bullshit.
Because that's what
like,
he did with Barbie.
Charged.
Yeah, he
but
definitely
Barbie
did
is
that
like-
with Barbie.
They did the 9-dot line around Taiwan. They ceded fishing rights in the South China Sea.
for the most part, though, he's like interesting reviews. It's like, oh, okay.
I would not have thought he would give objective reviews.
Oh, he wanted to be he wanted to be a creative when he was younger. He wrote.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw some
What a
of his,
hard turn to a different.
You should read his
life.
book, Arian.
I should not actually.
His book is fascinating.
I'm so backlogged in the books I need to read. Ben Shapiro's not making a list, okay?
If you really want to get a good review of Ben Shapiro's book, I think the Chapo guys did a detailed breakdown of that back in like 2016. They actually went through it almost page by page, and it's
What's it about?
It's about a man who is a criminal and another man who is trying to stop the criminal.
Oh, it's like a. Well, I guess you just said he wanted to be creative. I didn't even put that together. That'd be a work of fiction.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the names of the characters. It's probably been like 9 years since I listened to this podcast about it. But I remember listening and just laughing my ass off. It was very funny. But yeah, he wanted to be creative, and so then he started getting involved in politics. But every now and he goes back to his roots, and I think that's when he's at his best. Bohemian Grove has also been sued many times by the people that work there. Their valets, they would sue them. And I think they made $7 million in unpaid paychecks, unpaid wage. So they do 16-hour work days if you're an employee at the Bohemian Grove, and you're not allowed to use your phone. You have to have your phone off between. That's actually a rule for everybody. It's like keep your phones off, keep them. You can have them, but keep them powered off and keep them in a bag. The employees are not allowed to use their phones either. They have to work 16 hours a day. They don't get bathroom or lunch breaks. And also, apparently, you're not allowed to accept tips as an employee there, which would be like the best. That would be the only reason to work there, I would imagine, so that these super rich people pay you a shitload of money. So they work for 16 plus hours a day for the entire 2-week time span. But the time cards, they log them in as 8 hours of work a day. So they're like working double hours for 8 hours of pay. And then they were coerced into waiving meal periods. And the employees can only make phone calls before 9 a.m., after 9 p.m., can't talk for over 30 minutes on the phone. Employees can't work or visit a camp where a blood relative is a member. And they're not allowed to attend the rehearsals, plays, speeches, or any performances. And in the lawsuits, they don't even name who they're accusing because the club is so secretive. So they refer to the defendants as being just a bunch of John Does. How did John Doe become the name? John and Jane Doe. What's the history behind that?
I used to know the answer because of the Bourne series.
Yeah.
I've looked it up before, and I actually don't know what it is. But it's a great question.
What would that be?
It says the first known use of John Doe dates back to the 16th century, but its use became common in 18th century in British legal terminology for a fictitious plaintiff opposite the fictitious defendant, Richard Roe. In medicine, the term John Doe has come to use a temporary alias, blah, blah, blah. But
Richard Roe is patient zero?
I guess
Okay.
in legal terms.
Speaking of am I crazy or do they not use 555 anymore to mask phone numbers in movies and TV shows?
I don't think they do. I noticed that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, like I watch so many old movies, and the other day it just kind of dawned on me like, wait a second, like I feel like 555 isn't like a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Are people even saying phone numbers in movies anymore? I feel like they'll just show you a text conversation.
That's fair, but definitely like if you see a number, it's not like faked. I don't think anymore, at least in things that I've seen. Because before,
555 used to be the
it'd be.
Is that so that people wouldn't?
Which is such like a fourth wall breaking moment in a movie.
Yeah,
it's like
oh, you're a movie.
Yeah, it's like this is not real. That's right.
I think they put that in so that people wouldn't get prank phone calls from people.
Yeah,
I think because there are no 555s, right?
Yeah,
I think the start of it was that song. I don't know the start, but a big part of it was that 8675309. So people with that number was getting mad calls, and so like they changed it to like the de facto. This is not a real number.
Fun thing I like to do, if you go to a grocery store or a drugstore and they ask you, or really anything where they ask you to enter your loyalty number into that to see if you qualify for any discounts, I always do the local area code and then 8675309. And it usually works because most people, if they're signing up for something, they don't want to give their real number to somebody. And that's like the most commonly faked fake number.
Little life hack.
It's a little life hack out there. Hope you guys can save some money.
You ever have like you ever go to a place?
It could be like a collective, like we all agree that's the fake number we give companies, and everybody gets the benefit. That shit's fire.
Have you ever gone somewhere where you don't have the number, and then you can see the employee punches like in their own?
I like that.
Yeah, they like you enough. They're like,
I got you.
I'll give them $1.50 off.
Well, it's because they get the points as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
they should be doing that then.
It's not necessarily just about you, Jeff.
Yeah,
I just want to think they're nice. They want me to get the $1.50 off.
It's always super embarrassing when you hit you're like, yeah, I think I have a number here. You punch it in, and they're like, nope, didn't go through. Is there another number? And I'm like, oh, maybe this one. It doesn't go through again. They're like, sorry.
It's like,
fuck. Well, fuck me, I guess. So they were also sued. The Bohemian Grove was sued because they wouldn't hire women staff, and the judge actually ruled in favor of the club. They said it is true that they do discriminate, but they have a legitimate defense because at the retreat, men urinate in the open without toilets, and the presence of women at the Grove would alter the behavior of the members. Yeah. So like instead of saying like just piss in the toilet, they're like, yeah, they are discriminating, but what do you want them to do? Where else are they supposed to piss?
There are no toilets.
No toilets, yeah. Which I guess I get that. I think I would enjoy visiting the Bohemian Grove, just spend 2 weeks getting drunk outdoors. Or I could just go camping.
I would say I want to be a part of a secret society. I would love to. Like that would be fun as shit. I don't think like everybody I know is too busy. Like I can't even get like 3 or 4 of my guys in town to commit to golf once a week. You know what I'm saying? Much less a secret retreat that we go to do rituals. I would love to.
Yeah, it sounds fun. But
if
yeah,
anybody
I
has
don't
a
think I
secret
have
society
time.
out there, I'm open, man. Let me know.
Yeah, but they're going to expect that you have to contribute something, usually a lot of money.
It depends on what it is. If it's a dope secret society, I'm in. But if y'all just do there and do a bunch of elephant walks, I won't be participating.
You're not going to do the elephant walk.
I will pass on the elephant walk.
What if it gets you into a club where you become like wealthy and powerful beyond your wildest dreams?
Well, now we're talking PFT.
Yeah,
I'll do all the gay shit.
Just one little trek around the room.
It's not gay. It's you're soaking your hand in their dick. You're not moving it. You're just grabbing it like a handle.
Yeah, it's so I don't get lost in a dark room.
Yeah,
and there's probably always one guy in the elephant walk that like gets a little hard because you're blindfolded.
Yeah,
actually, I don't think it's gay to get hard during an elephant walk. You got a blindfold on. All you feel is just pressure. Could be anyone. I don't know. I've never participated, for the record. And if I did, I definitely wouldn't get hard.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, but to those dudes' credits, how do you know if it's a dude?
That's what I'm saying.
We had a dude in college. We had a dude in college. I won't name his name. We had a dude. You get around as fellas and you start bragging about the shit that you've done. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I was with Shorty, whatever. So this dude was like, yo, one time, I met this joint online. This was like in the early days of Facebook. I met this joint and she told me to come over, and we didn't even really meet, dog. There was a hole in the garage door. He said I just slipped my meat through, and she topped me off, and we was like, "Hey, yo, dog, that was probably a dude." And he was like, "Nah, hell no, hell." We was like, "Fam, why would she not want you to see her, dog? You probably got that done by a guy, fam." He was hot. He was ready to fight us.
The glory hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard those are big at truck stops.
Remember when New York City told people during COVID to use those?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild. Never experienced a glory hole before. There was a gym I used to go to that was it was in a gayer part of town. It was close to my office, and so I would go there on my lunch breaks. The shower stalls had people had drilled small peepholes in some of the shower stalls. That was shocking when I first saw that.
Which town was that?
This is Austin.
Interesting.
Yeah. But they weren't at dick level. They were
Got it.
eye level. Kind of strange. All right, anything else about the Bohemian Grove?
I loved Alex's video.
Yeah, good journalism.
Yeah.
Shout out Alex Jones.
He
Nice work.
in the beginning he's doing a stand up, and he's like, "I am Alex Jones, a television host from Austin, Texas." That's like, if only you knew.
Only you knew what what you're gonna become, my friend.
Yeah. So I guess we have to put 5 cents in the Alex Jones was right jar. I think
As people
there's-
have started to have to do.
I think there's 15 cents in that jar.
I think
What about the Alex Jones's wrong jar? How much
It's
money is
full,
in that?
but the right jar has some change in it.
It's got some
Wait,
change.
how was he right about that? I don't know, what?
He was right that there's a secret society of ultra elite that get together and have a giant slumber party for 2 weeks where they plot shit.
And that they're doing weird shit.
But that's not really the meat of his claims. This is typical Alex Jones. This is how he get y'all. He be right about the outline and the skeleton, but the meat of his claims have zero evidence behind it.
Yeah, he was wrong about the human sacrifice. Possibly wrong about the Satanism.
The New World Order.
You don't think that the people in charge of... Yeah, okay, the way he talks about the New World Order, where they're all teaming together to form one government, and that's going to kill everybody. Yeah,
This is my thing about conspiracy theories, though, bro. I'm not against you. I think my standard of evidence is just higher. That's it. I would, if you can prove to me that there's a new world order and there is a secret cabal meeting and blah blah blah, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's take them down. Let's take them out of there. Let's do it. I'm in. I'm on the front. I ain't on the front lines, but I'm being in the back, rooting you on. You know what I'm saying? I am in. It's just my standard of evidence for truth is higher than yours. It's it's just the gullibility. It's I can't draw the connections you draw. I can't do it. I have a higher standard for proof. And once you meet that, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's take them down.
I think this is a conspiracy, though. It's the definition of a conspiracy. It's a bunch of people getting together and plotting shit behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That is a conspiracy, right?
Yes, it's a conspiracy that has tentacles. He's right about the fact that there is a club and they meet and they get drunk and they burn an owl, which is very odd. Facts.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a cabal where they're trying to orchestrate a new world order, one government with I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, well, that's it for the Bohemian Grove. I hope you learned something. I learned something. I learned some stuff today.
I do wonder who I like to know who the least favorite member is. People are like,
Yeah.
fuck, he's here this year.
We gotta get this guy out.
That's what I would love to know. But
Invite Kid Rock back.
You're right.
Somebody just decided it was wild card week at Bohemian Grove. Who would be the worst celebrity to invite to Bohemian Grove?
Alex Jones.
In what sense? The worst to hang out with, the worst to have information leak afterwards.
The worst for the current members of Bohemian Grove. So if you're George W. Bush and if you're, I don't know, a defense minister from Belarus.
I don't know, because they're across a pretty wide ideological spectrum, it seems.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you could just pick whoever the most left or right person
No, yeah,
is.
I'm just thinking the biggest wild card that you can invite that would definitely fuck shit up.
Trump.
I'm sure he's been there.
You think so? I kind of agree with Arian. Like, I don't think that. I think he
think
would
he-
just
he'd
go
get-
around big timing everybody, and they'd be like, "I'm not used to being big timed. I don't like this guy."
I feel like Trump's a yapper, man. He anything that he a part of, he gonna let you know he's a part of that shit.
We've seen the Bohemian Grove, folks. They're burning owls. We love the owls. We're trying to save the owls.
Very wise. Taught us how to read a book when we were young. I can't do Trump. All right. Well, I think actually the worst person to invite out there, Diddy was probably out there. You think Diddy was there? Also, Arian, former co-star with Diddy. In draft day.
Yeah, that's right.
Facts. Been to many of his parties. That's what it is, dog.
Someone needs to laugh after that so that doesn't get clipped.
I did think there was more.
Yeah.
Y'all been trying to implicate me and Diddy since he got, accused. I think that was just something that came out actually, that his lawyers came out and said that the Diddy tapes absolve him of the crimes.
Yeah, the lawyer said it will demonstrate consensual sex.
Yeah, which is, that's huge, if that's the case.
Yeah, maybe the freak offs, it was just a big orgy.
Could have been. I don't know. I hope that's the case so that there's no victims.
True.
Just from that standpoint. But if he's guilty, throw him under, cuz.
I think it's unlikely that it was victimless.
I have no idea. That's what I'm not as interested in as far as like digging into details. I'll just wait till whatever that happens. But MJ innocent.
Okay. We've gone down that road before.
No, I'll just gotta scream that from the mountaintops.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning into Macrodosing. We will see you guys next week. And until then, love you guys. Thank you, Jeff Lowe.
Thank you.
Also, Jeff D. Lowe, if you're in New Orleans around Super Bowl time, for the listeners out there, is there an announcement that we're making right now?
Go to the Dozen, February 4th, Tuesday night. First matches of the season. We'll debut all the new teams that we have, the new format for the season, all that shit.
I told Jeff this yesterday.
Nick KB hosting halftime.
I've been
Intermission.
I got excited about doing the Dozen for the first time because we used to do it all. The season was very long, and so it become a grind. Have to do all the scheduling stuff. For the first time last week, I was like, I really miss doing the Dozen. So I hope people miss watching the Dozen too.
And the Final Four will not be in Chicago this year.
Interesting.
It's moving to the Northeast.
So okay, all right.
A little change of pace.
A little cliffhanger.
Yep.
Be in Newfoundland.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you next week. Love you guys.